for listening to the Trojan Hour. Yeah, the boys.
Yeah, the boys. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome back.
So here we are. We weren't going to do a live stream, but old Christopher James, you were pretty destined to make us do a live stream, weren't you, mate?
100%. All the way. All the way.
We have today, it's your usual hosts, Matt, myself, and Ryan, and we are joined tonight. Got a pretty exciting episode tonight. We're joined by life coach Christopher James. You go by a few names.
We won't go through them.
But yeah, I know you as Chris James. I'm sure other people know you under
Dawson, CJ.
Dawson, CJ. A few different names. But yeah, when we decided we wanted to have, a guest on the show, we were pretty excited to have you on as the first guest. So a pretty interesting story to tell when Benno told me. Benno told me a bit about your life story, and I said, yeah, we have to get him on.
Perfect.
The first.
Here to share. Here to share.
So I'm going to start off by plugging this wine. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, get it in
great
there.
idea.
So what have I got here?
Anyway, cheers, boys.
Yeah, cheers. Start off with
Yeah.
our
I don't know if I can reach that
Cheers,
far.
boys.
signature cheers.
Good on you, Alcoholics Anonymous. Good stuff, yeah.
Cheers, the boys.
So this one, this is a real treat, this one. So this one is, I found this one by accident. So it's called Upside Down. And it's a Sauv Blanc New Zealand wine. Why is New Zealand wine so good, Ryan?
Just whites.
Is it just whites?
Yeah, pretty much just Sauv Blancs.
Is it climate or
That Marlborough region.
is it the
they
climate?
hammer it. I would assume it is.
Yeah.
And their soil. Most wines dictated by soil.
Soil.
The soil that it's grown in. So if you get like a Shiraz from Heathcote, you know she's going to be top notch.
Beautiful. Yeah, this is really good. This was,
I
I had it last night. It was $17. And
You
then
drink it every day, man.
every day.
Every day, man. Since
Every
we
day.
started this podcast.
Yeah. It's got him hooked.
Yeah, just an excuse now. But it was $17 at IGA.
It's very nice, man.
And then tonight it was $9, so I bought 4 bottles.
Jesus.
4 bottles. Stocked up.
Nice.
That's one each, isn't it?
Stocked up, one each. We're not going to do that again. Our last live stream.
I ended up getting fucking carpet burns. I don't know if anyone can see this shit. I got carpet burns on my fucking elbow from our little tussle.
Because you wanted to be Bruce Lee,
And I ended up being Bruce Lee 'cause I
And
got
you
my fuck
copped
knocked
it.
copped it a little bit, didn't you?
in. Yeah, I pulled up tight.
Yeah, it'll do that to you, definitely. It will definitely do that to you. What do we got here? All right, I've gone dashboard for a little bit.
Dash for you.
So,
You've run out of room over there real quick.
yeah, I got the cockpit happening. So, look, thanks for joining us today, tonight. It's been, pretty exciting in the lead up to have you here. Pretty cool story.
Not wrong.
So, what you are right now, so you're a life coach, right? Is that how you would explain to somebody what you do and what you are?
As a title, for public to know, would be a life coach, but it's more deeper psychology, so working with an array of differences in mental values and stimulating people, I guess, in a way mentally to see better in themselves and a positive future. It's a bit hard to say. Like life coaching, yeah, I've got a certificate under my belt around that, but it doesn't determine what I do. It's just
I think it'd be fair to say you're not the typical standard certified, institutionalized life coach, right?
no textbook guru.
Yeah.
Not online, just getting everything online and then trying to implement it. It's just things that my past have dealt, and I've had to work my way through it. To many, it's very torturous in a way, but when you can see the good in so many things that were negative, yeah, there's a massive shift mentally for that. So it's good to be able to orchestrate skills and a bit of knowledge towards people so they can change. Majority of things I do are based around reward. So anything, if anyone's neglected mentality, you want to start getting good chemicals burning because you're so subsequently damaged with chemicals. Like all you see is the darkness, and it's time to take a flip to it. And that's what I do. So I work with people. I don't go back to trauma points and trigger things off all the time. So it's relapsing people's mentality and in that neglect as such. It's more, what do we got today and what are we doing tomorrow?
Yep.
And that's a bonus with what I do. So even with psychology, you know, I don't want to talk too much about psychologists as such. I've had a couple in my life, especially based around the injury and the things they put on my plate when I had to go in. I see through what their agenda is, basically. And, you know, I know a value of what I've got now and what I can do to, you know, excel that for tomorrow. And that's my give and draw card for anyone.
So
to do that.
you weren't always obviously a life coach. So can you take us through what led you to this point and what made you say, all right, I want to make a difference in people's lives and I want to.
So where do I start? So in the early interim, I knew within myself that I had a gift, and the gift was to always help people. So whether it was friends or just anyone, it was always like I was that person that people would go to, maybe because I now realise being an empath as such. You want to do what's best for people. My goal is to halve the pain that people have and not have to go through the depths of things that maybe that I've been through potentially in such a way. But through life, like with the amount of trauma that I've been through on different situations and exposures, that's where I've had to sit back and get really analytical with myself because I couldn't get the help. I couldn't find the help. No one put their hand out for help. I had to work on that. So people would turn to me and say, look, you know, have you had depression, anxiety? Look, no doubt. But I see it as suppression. I see the values of things differently than most. And even though it might be, you know, a neglect as such or toxicity within yourself, can't find to get out of that hole, I've had to try and work ways around on what worked for me. And because it's been so powerful as a tool, these skills, I now put them into other people's lives to, like I said, halve the pain. You know, I don't want people to endure the depth of razor blading of what life can give you, which at the end result is suicide. You know, I've had people around me die with, you know, kill themselves, take their life. And I just feel that, yeah, you've just got to try and put your best foot forward and implement something into someone's life and be strategic and show them the way.
100%.
But it's been my whole life, I think, and I reflect back now on life as such and everything that I've been through. I have a full understanding of everything, whether it is parents being divorced and then obviously someone takes a side and then someone's trying to neglect the other and the distraught of, you know, being bullied at school, harassed. I was probably a bit plumpier at school, I would probably say. Maybe that's why I hit the gym a lot now. So, yeah, I've got to change the way, but there was a reward in that.
Yep.
You know, so you've got to look for the good that's in the bad and make shit happen, basically, and get on with it. I always tell everyone to get the fuck on with it. It's always an everyday thing.
Go.
You do take it from a very approachable, relatable angle compared to like the clinical psychologist,
more down to earth,
psychiatrist, things like
Be
that.
more relatable.
It's a hell of a lot more relatable. I think a lot of us have been to psychologists, psychiatrists, things before, and it can be very clinical. And you do, between all your videos, things like that, you know, on Facebook, all your social medias, you are very relatable.
It's almost as you say, though, like you don't want to go back to the trauma. So most of these institutions, they bring you back to the trauma and then you work through the trauma.
Pushing forward.
It's about what's happening tomorrow, not what happened yesterday.
Yeah. The things that I've picked up along the way is when it comes to such professional areas, when it comes to, you know, your psychs and counselling and this and that, to me, it feels like they want to put people back into a trauma relapse of, you know what, I want to bring that mentality back. I want to stem them back there because that's going to give me my next piece of income.
Yep.
That's how I feel. Like they leave them more damaged potentially. Some serve their way, don't get me wrong. I've known psychologists and this and that, and they do a really good job. I've had a lot of psychologists on my social media and they inbox me saying, you can't be dealing with people that are suicidal. And I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, to tell me.
Block.
Yeah.
Gone. Like they try and interrogate.
Why would they say that though?
Because they're threatened because I'm offering things of value to
An
people that they won't.
alternative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want that hourly rate.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Less
they're
clinical,
very, they're bound.
Mm.
They're bound by their rules, regulations in the industry.
They're in a system. And the thing is, I see systems differently because we work off a chemical basis. We're a piece of energy. We work off vibration, frequency. That's what we are. We are an energy. So if you're dormant to energy, you need something positive in your life to shift something of an element. And that's what goes on. When you give people good feedback, rewards, goals, tasks at hand, and understanding what their identity is, we do walk through life with an identity of what people have placed upon us, and we forget what our identity is. So the thing is, and the goal for me is to bring people back and restructure that identity. Like, really, who are you without the noise around you? But they feel all the noise is a piece of them because that's all that's being pushed upon them.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing as well.
So cognitive behavioral therapy.
Well, you got that out all right, didn't you?
I spat it out. I thought I'd say it now before I have a few too many wines.
You've done well.
So that's what you studied, right?
Yep.
Yep. And can you just explain for people listening that don't know that term? I didn't know what that term was until I had to look it up. But
Yep.
can you explain to people, exactly what that is?
So basically, where I first initially made a change in my life, I went through a lot of hardship. It started at the end of 2014. I went through a massive financial hardship. And one thing that really got me working, I still had the internet at home. I started learning things from Bob Proctor. And I know a lot of people that are on here would know Bob Proctor, but he works with a paradigm of the mind. So it's how your subconscious, conscious, mind works together to action something. That was the first point of call. Now, with cognitive behavior therapy, to me, with what I do that's more sort of articulate with people is working with your habits. What are your habits? What's your program? It takes 30 days to implement a new habit in your life. So the cognitive behavior of people is shifting and allowing, reasonable new matter of knowledge to come through and then implementing that into action. We can have all the knowledge in the world. This is where it comes back to the textbook theory people online.
yeah.
They can have all that, but I've got life experience. I've got emotion in me. So my emotional sale to people is I have power. Take some of this on board. Let's go. I can't just hold all this back and go, well,
You have a lot more freedom to adapt to the unique person
Yep.
that you're dealing with at the time, instead of being stuck by a structure, to follow.
a set agenda as
Step
such.
one, step two, step three. You can adapt a lot to the person you're dealing with
Yep.
and their needs, their
Yep.
emotional, spiritual needs. Like,
Yep. And a huge thing too that I worked out in life is us guys on the table here right now, right? There's four of us. We've all been through similarities. Obviously with my back and everything that's gone on, okay, it's
Yeah,
different.
we're going to talk about that too.
But we've been through relationship breakups. We've been through a bit of financial hardship. We've been in that job position that we don't want to be in. We've been through the family with separation. We might have lost a loved one. Like, we have got a generic way of things that we have had orchestrated in front of us as a visual or whatever, or a touch of emotion. We've all been through that. So I can understand we only go through so much. So I can deal with so many people on so many agendas because they're all very similar. At the end of the day, regardless of what you've been through, reward and getting rewards is the biggest element to your life because it burns that happy chemical. It gets your serotonin going, your dopamine,
Yep.
endorphins like the gym, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's very,
So we're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about the mental health. Of course, that's going to be the crux of the podcast tonight. But let's go back and talk about your accident because you had a pretty life-changing accident happen to you. Take us back to that day and how long ago was it, and walk us through exactly what happened to you.
Okay. So because, like I was stating before, I went through a lot of financial hardship starting back in about 2014. That dragged on for quite some time. With myself, I had a couple of cars because of business and everything. So you generalised tax write-offs. I had all that stuff. Had a not too bad place for myself and everything. So my overheads on my own personal income were probably about $1,300 a week. Back then, because of financial hardship, I went into quite a dark place because, getting the internet cut off, so I don't have the access to that, having phones cut off, get behind on rent, behind on finances. It was a massive detriment. A lot of people said, why didn't you go bankrupt? But I'm like, I can beat this shit. I just knew it.
Yeah.
So I was starting to, and I learned something from that. That was the risk of money and the risk of business and the risk of things in life. But I learned from that. And it got so hard to a degree, or it got quite complicated where I'm like, you know what? I need to move back home to Victoria. I was in Queensland at that point in time. I rang a mate that I used to jump dirt bikes with. They've got a bike shop in Echuca. And I said, look, you got any work going? I'll go back to what my skills are. And I've been around bikes my whole life and being an ex-mechanic. And he rang back the next day, said, look, you can start with us. That's no problem. So I sort of just winged it. I packed up the car, got me dog. I got this Siberian Husky. She's been through everything with me. So it was me and her and a ute full of everything I could, my clothes, everything, come home. And this was March 2017. I had a week to myself to catch up with people because everyone's like, oh, no, you're home now, you better catch up. So I got that out of the way. And I started work on the following Monday and worked through to a Saturday. Sunday, I was going back out to ride bikes and get involved because the bike shop I was with, I was going to do a bit of racing for them on the regional series. So I was still a bigger bloke. Like I was unfit.
So how tall are you? Just for everyone listening.
6'2", I think, yeah.
6'2".
You're every part of 6'2".
Every part of 6'2".
Every part of it.
I think you're being a bit modest there. I'd probably say 6'4".
No, I'd probably now because I walk with the limp and everything else. I'm probably under the radar. But it's something about that. But I'm always tackling about 115 kilos. And when I was in Queensland, I was all about the Queensland image. Like, you got to go to the gym. And that was a big thing for me for a release. But I was lifting so heavy that my body was becoming slow, you know. So 115 kilos is too much. But I'm back at that again now, which is stupid. But anyway, I thought I'll get back. And that's just where your mindset gets a bit funny with this.
But you're 6'2", just to put this into perspective. You're 6'2", right? I'm 5'10" in the morning. Like, that's me. And I was 116 kilos.
116?
116, man, whenever I used to be across the road at the Aussie.
Yeah.
I was a fat
Baby
fuck.
loved his cake.
I was just hammering pints, man.
Yeah.
I get down to 69 and now I'm about 74, 75.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
I don't know what it feels like to go under the radar of 100, but I feel sorry
You're
for
a
you.
big frame, though. Like, you're a fridge. Like, you're
Hey,
a big
calm
frame.
down, mate. You're going to offend our first guest.
We
No.
are getting good compliments.
You're pretty, like, you're muscular. Look at how top heavy you
you're
are.
not 115 flabby.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
I don't take compliments. Mate, or whatever.
He's like, all
Just
right,
take
then.
it. Just take it.
But that was the effort. Look, when I went through this hardship matter in Queensland, I did live at the gym because that was the only release I had. That and eating a shit ton of food and just train. But when I got home, unfortunately, I had that 2-week span, caught up with everyone, went out on the bike the following weekend for to start training again. And I had it all on my mind, but the body couldn't keep up. So I was getting obviously lethargic through the day. The calluses on my hands were just torn off. My body's like, you know what, I'm knackered, but my head's like, one more. It's always one more. And we did have someone filming on the day, which she'll be watching this because I've got her on my social media, but she was there with her partner at the time. And I said, look, do a bit of footage because I always love doing stuff for, getting online and sharing and everything else.
Yeah.
And it gives people motivation. Well, he's getting out on the bike. I need to do that. And it's been a while. But yeah, 2:30 that day, it fell on a Sunday. I come hard into one of the jumps at this track near Bendigo, which was third gear, sitting down. They call it a seat bounce, so you can get over the thing really good. Landed, hit the next jump, overshot the whole jump. The bike had standard suspension. I was 115 plus gear, so the thing just collapsed and bottomed out on the shot, and I collapsed with the bike. So I've fallen into it, and another jump was coming, and third gear hooking along's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm either going to get shot over the bars off the next jump from sitting down, the rear end would obviously pump up and shoot me off, or I've got to make a decision. Now, to go through with a decision that I did not go with, that would have seen me through a heap of machinery. There was a fence there and the car park. So it would have basically ripped me to shreds, out of control.
Jesus.
And I believe that would have killed me. And that's the thing. I know the variances of things that have gone on with this accident. I couldn't work out why I did what I did, but now I know why it's happened, and that's the pathway I took. I ended up going off that jump and throwing the bike away, and the bike sailed front end high. I had to get it up and throw it. But when I landed feet first drawn hard, and then the weakest part of my body to break was my T12 vertebrae, and that punctured straight into my spinal cord. That shut me off, so I was paralysed from there on.
So it was straight from then.
That was
you
it.
Knew.
And the thing was, like, I was positive before I crashed. I've always had the mentality of, the positivity as such. Because I always
So
did
you've
it.
always been a positive person. It wasn't something that came later?
Well, it was developed. I seen The Secret, the documentary, and I'm sure you guys have seen The Secret. I pushed this towards a lot of people. That shifted me in about 2010, roughly. So I've seen 10 years from that. But also before that, I did start with a company I was with, and they were all about positive mental attitude because of W. Clement Stone in the States, Napoleon Hill, all that. So I knew it was there, but I was so confined because of my surrounds. They didn't know any of this, and I never knew it. And you follow the trend, but there is something in you, and the
Yeah.
gift opens up when people get to show you some of it. And I had that. But yeah, the day when I broke me back, I told myself the minute I got my air back, because I was really gasping for air, it was pretty full on. There was a video taken of me crashing, but who had the camera? They were filming the ground, didn't realise
Yeah, right.
it wasn't on me.
Yeah.
So you can hear it. And the
Oh.
bellow that I give, because T12 is like midsection.
Oh.
So trying to breathe with something that snapped you back, excruciating. And I come to terms, but I told myself, even though you're paralysed, get ready for a wheelchair now. And I put that in myself because
So-
After the accident, were you sort of laying there after it and you sort of knew?
I
Like,
knew.
you're like, I can't move.
I
Like,
knew. The minute I ragdolled.
Once you had overshot that jump, you would have knew almost
Something.
instantly
So
something
pre-
bad's going to happen.
Yeah,
there.
so pretty much because I jumped off, and obviously the impact of 115 kilos hitting really hard terrain. It wasn't sand, clay. It was like hard as a
Yeah.
rock. That put that pressure, that volume through my
Yeah.
body, and the capacity of it allowed that T12 to just shatter straight
Yeah.
into my spinal cord.
So could you? Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Sorry.
That's insane. But so could you, in that moment where you've ate the shit, so to speak,
Mm.
were you fully with it? You knew exactly what had happened, and you were so you could feel everything. You knew what was going on, and you
Yeah.
knew it was bad.
Yep. So initially, when I come to of getting my breath back, I knew because everything was tingling. Like I knew that I broke me back, and it's the first thing I said to one of my mates in the day. I'm like, dude, I've broken me back. I'm paralysed. So everyone would have been freaking out, but I'm like, get ready for the wheelchair, get ready for the wheelchair, because I didn't want to wait. Pardon me, until I got to see a specialist. And they go, look, Chris, unfortunately, you're going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your
Yeah.
life. I don't wait for that.
You're preparing.
I determine myself straight
Yeah.
away.
yeah.
So when you crashed, so what happened? So who called the ambulance and what happened there?
So once I come to terms of getting my breath back and regaining some sort of, breathing value, which was quite hard because I have very short, irritated breaths because of the pain, that was next level. So the thing is with this accident, right, I know why the accident happened. I'm massive on universal law. I'm very in tune with this stuff, and I always have been. But this was the prize moment to go, you know what? No one's going to help you right now bar you.
Yeah.
If you don't get your shit together now and work this out now, you're going to be a massive detriment to yourself. So I had to prepare mentally for this. So that initially took place. And you know what? I reckon about 40 minutes later, the ambulance turned up. And I'm like, I finally get to get one of those green whistles. Right? And I said to them, because all my mates, I've had mates crash and really bury themselves pretty hard, air chop it out and everything. And the whistle gets them high as a kite. They're talking shit. And I'm like, it's my turn. And they said, nah, mate, this is so severe. We have to inject you with morphine.
Wow.
And they put enough morphine in me to knock out 2.5 horses, they reckon. Like it was a shit ton.
Jesus.
Now,
So you got picked up in an ambulance?
so that was an ambulance on ground, yeah. It wasn't a chopper or anything like that. The thing was with the accident, like this has put me right back into a man of value being on the ground. So I'm right where you guys are for what you need to know. The thing was, the thing that freaked me out the most, out of everything, and the most pain I've ever been in, was when they said, rightio, Chris, we've got to lay you back onto the board so you can get transferred into the ambulance. So what happened was, where the pivot point is from T12 and the brake, you got to think of that amount of, like, if I was halving my weight, there's obviously 60 kilos up top, 60 downstairs, so to speak.
Ooh.
It's fighting against itself to roll me over. It fucking hurt. That was the
Yeah.
worst thing out of it.
How did you not pass out from the pain?
I think I don't know.
Did you have an
Right.
adrenaline rush still going through you?
Man, it gives me shivers just thinking of that pain, but I don't know. I think because I knew what was going on, I remember the accident and going all the way in till they put the mask on my face and knocked me out. Because the last thing I said to them was, take my phone, I want photos of my back when you open it up. And they're like, mate, you've got to go and have emergency surgery. This is serious. And I'm like, well, I want to get pictures of, the
What you're
initial
doing.
opening.
Yeah.
I'm like, see, for me, I can't fathom that because I'm like one of those, like my pain threshold's pretty fucking low. I'm like one of those fainting goats. Whenever
Open the umbrella.
if I hit my shin on something or if I hit my knee on something hard enough, I get all dizzy and woozy. I'm like, oh, got to calm down a bit here, boys. To try and put myself in your shoes there and snapped back. I think I would have passed out.
And then
be totally honest.
to fuck around for another 40 minutes afterwards, waiting on the ambulance.
Yeah.
Like that's a big deal. Like that's insane, man.
It's different.
So did you end up
Jesus.
getting flown? The ambulance took you somewhere to get airlifted?
Yep. So following that as such, there's so much more into that area that's just coming to my mind, but we won't go into because it'll drag on forever.
No,
but
go into it. We've
No,
got time.
So-
mate.
Go
go
for it.
into
We
it.
got,
alright.
we're not the Trojan hour. We're the Trojan hours.
the Trojan, the Trojan day.
If you want to talk about it, mate, talk about it.
So the funny thing was with it, the guy that was running the track at the time, Paul Bacon, he's a real handy rider. He's probably in his 50s now. I've known him for quite a while anyway. He come up on his bike and pulled up, and he's like, that's what you get for being overweight, you fat cunt. That's what he said to me. And he was filming me on his phone, right?
No way.
No, and I laughed.
Did he
because
know the severity? Surely not.
We knew that I was paralysed and shit was fucked. yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's not like I didn't see that as like, you're really
Yeah,
ragging me. I'm
yeah.
in a
Yeah.
shit place. I was laughing because I'm
Yeah.
like,
you got
it is what it is. And
Yeah.
I accept, look, dirt bikes will spit you. They will
Yeah.
spit you into the ground and your time will come. And only 2 weeks before this, when I was coming home, I'm like, you know what? I've never had an injury where I've had surgery. I wonder what that feels like.
Yeah.
So what did
Wow.
I do? I've already voiced
You've
something
put that
out,
out to the universe.
and then boom.
Yeah.
So you actually believe that?
Yeah, yeah.
And what you
Thoughts
put
become
out comes back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
a-
that's
I'm a firm believer in
before
that
what
as
you're saying
well.
about The Secret is
Yep.
a lot about that, about positivity you put out or negativity you put out will come back.
It's all an energy. Yeah, no, I understand on a spiritual level of how that all works. And that was no joke. Like, I literally go, fuck, I've never broken a bone to have
Yeah.
that surgery because I haven't.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
That's
oh, well.
insane.
And then 2 weeks later, well, suck on that.
Just
Boom,
went
I
balls
was
deep,
gone.
just straight into it.
That
Just
was
real
it.
quick too, if anyone's got any comments, questions, or anything
Yeah.
like for Chris,
Get on it.
at the end of this, we'll address them, get Chris to answer some questions and stuff.
I'm down.
Yeah, we'll do a bit of a Q&A. So if you want to ask questions now about anything mental health related, his accident, whatever you want to ask him,
Go for it.
put them in the comments, and after the show, we'll do a Q&A, little Q&A with Chris and
Or us.
or us if you want to ask
anything.
us something. We're super exciting. If you
No
wanna-
one wants to talk to you three tonight. I'm sorry.
so
And also get that shared. Share it constantly.
Yeah, give it a share.
Share it on Chris's page.
Yep.
Get it on. What's that? What's his handle?
So his handle is power up. Oh, this is for Instagram. It's powerup.coaching. And your Facebook is just type in power up
I don't
on
know.
Facebook and it
It's
comes
there.
up.
The big guy in the profile picture.
The big dog.
You'll see him. He's got some
Get it shared.
and he's constantly putting. It's not one of those pages you go to and there's nothing there, or it's just meaningless crap.
Endless fun.
Flat chat.
It's he does a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Does a lot of videos that you can actually relate to.
So look, you're lying in the hospital bed.
So we'll go back. So that initially happened at the track. So I had Paul hanging shit on me. Then I took off. I went to Bendigo. First point of call, someone got hold of my sister, and she was about an hour away. She came over. In Bendigo, what they did is they qualified me with the dye they put in your body
Yep.
to determine what's going on. Rightio. So we've got a T11 fracture, but we've got a T12 burst fracture, and basically that shattered through. Yeah, and I found the X-ray the other day from the initial first one because there's no hardware there, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Yeah, and that was the first one. And the funny thing was at Bendigo, I'll never forget it, because I was shut waist down. The doctor's like, or whoever, he's like, rightio, man, we've got to put a catheter in. And I'm like, God, I remember all the dirt bike movies in America, and all the dudes are like, man, I hate catheters. But I was busted.
Yeah.
But the thing was, I couldn't feel anything. And then I'm like, I'm grabbing me privates and shit, and I'm like, I can't. What the fuck? I can't feel nothing.
Yeah.
And
So was
that's
that
where
the first time
yeah.
you realised you were
That-
paralysed?
No, well, Paralysed was on the track. That's there.
Yep.
But the thing is, it's not every day we come across paralysis.
Yeah.
You don't realise what it shuts off. It's like a massive electrical circuit, and the main lead going in is your spinal cord. But everything that comes off that, so bowel, bladder, sexual function, the way your bum works, your sensories, man, fucking everything from waist down was shut. So I'm like, and because obviously blood flow has to be everything, I think I've had a restriction in that area on the front, and I'm like, what the fuck? No one's touching my.
Because it all depends on
It was
the
for-
brake too, doesn't it? About
Yeah.
how far that electrical circuit gets
Exactly,
broken, right?
exactly. So mine being T12 was really big with digestive,
Yeah, right.
bowel and blood. It was everything, like
Yep.
everything going down. So you're not aware,
Yep.
right? But I couldn't just jump on the internet and go, what happens when you have this?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what was going on, where it was broken. So anyway, they got the catheter in finally. Like I must have just gone like, fuck, I got to do this. So yeah, we got that out of the way. Then they shuttle planed me to Melbourne, to Essendon. I still remember all that. Real
So
small.
are you in pain at this point?
I think with the amount of morphine they had in me, I don't
You don't remember pain?
know. Probably. But I think my mind was just in such another element now where it's like, okay, I understand I'm injured. What am I going to do from here on? What do I need to work on, to stay active and positive in the mind? I still had upper limb movement, which was really good. So that was fine. They got me to Melbourne. Then they put me in the MRI tunnel, which that was so hard. I had to try and squeeze in the bloody thing because it's only, I don't know
that's
how
small.
wide it is, but
It's like 900. It's like
I don't know.
Oh, really?
It wasn't
or
enough.
600. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
small.
So
Yeah,
I've
right.
I've had to get in, but I always remember the bips and the sounds that thing makes.
And you have to
It's
sit in there for a while now.
Oh, I'm not one to feel funny of being in confinement places, but just trying to sit in like
Yeah.
this and you're all crouched up.
Especially what's going
through.
through your mind at the time. Your mind's
Yeah.
racing as it is, let alone
Yeah.
being crammed in the,
Mhm.
in
So
the MRI.
it had to be done. It had to be done. And the thing was, I had really good ambulance people. I've had really good doctors,
Yep.
surgeons. I know that this was a massive shift in my life. So people go, when are you going to get better? Whenever I get better. The
Yep.
thing was, this has shifted me mentally so much more than what I had. That is the biggest blessing out of it all. As much as there's a physical recovery,
Yeah.
my mentality has gone leaps and bounds, and I've worked in different areas and around different things to really build a lot of power in what I voice. And I don't see the injury as a detriment. I don't see it as a regret. I still am around bikes, and I still ride. I bought a Harley. I ride a Harley everywhere. It hasn't slowed me down with that. But what it's given me is substance of what I can give to other people now. It is powerful stuff. And that's what I love, is that this experience has given me more emotional value towards anyone that I deal with, and they can feel that. And that's what it's all about, is connecting with people.
So
And that's what I love.
they told you you'd never walk again. Is that right?
That was the outcome, yeah.
Yep.
So T12 burst fracture as such, my surgeon said every time I've gone in there, wheelchair, crutches, one crutch, a walking stick, a walking cane, he just goes, man, he goes, you realise you're not meant to be doing that. And I'm like, I don't know any different.
Yeah.
I asked him how bad my accident was, like my injury, my surgery, and he goes, are you fucking stupid? I said, what do you mean? He goes, dude, you're paralysed. What more do you want to know about how
Yeah.
bad could it be? He said, anyone in your position doesn't walk again. We've had everyone leave in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
So why you? Why do you think you were
Yep.
able to beat it, defy the odds, and
Yep.
and you're cruising around and
Yep. I've worked all this out.
You came to terms straight away, though, didn't you?
Straight on the spot.
Straight away,
a
man.
very
Like
unique-
that's what I can get from
Very
you.
unique thing.
Like you came to terms straight away.
Straight up.
This is what I need to do. And you almost accepted it instantly.
Straight away.
As soon as you had
I had
fucking
to.
left that bike and you knew you were airborne, you went, "Yep, this is."
If
this
I
is
came
what's
out of
happening."
it right in the beginning, when the minute I hit the ground, if I come through half-assed, I would be getting a half-assed result.
Yeah.
No, I changed it straight away.
Yeah.
so
That's unbelievable.
so,
So
a
good.
positive mindset you can attribute like massively
Mm.
to your recovery.
Power of the mind was everything. It was up to me. Entirely up to me. No one could help me get what I wanted as a result. They could assist when it came to physio and implementation of therapies. But if I didn't have passion in myself and believe in myself, I wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have straight away. My rehab, I motivated everyone at rehab, and I lost people at rehab. They passed away. There was people in there that did suffer quite a lot. But some of the stuff I come across at rehab, man, every day I'd be getting up in routine, getting that wheelchair and fire on along to rehab. If only I could have my rehabilitation people speak. Like it was just, man, I loved it. I loved it every day. Just go, go, go. Because if I miss opportunity that day, that gives me the opportunity of miss for what I could have as a result, and that's
Yeah.
to walk again.
So was there? I feel like there would have been some bad times in rehab. Did you have? Were you constantly fighting against your own mind? Was it
I had no bad times at rehab.
no bad times?
Nope. The thing that I got out of rehab, there was 4 walls and a roof. I got taken away from everyday living society. It made me rethink, retrain, and understand how I work on a cognitive basis myself, how other people worked. Whereas in the real world, you're worrying about money, your debt, your overheads, relationships. I had none of that. So I had a really good time to create solitude in myself. I had a really good time to
Just
bring
focus.
back balance. And the thing is, worrying about the outside world, that's not going to get me out of a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So I completely confined myself the whole time. I did put a lot of stuff on Facebook just to show people, there are people that they're worse off. And there was people in there worse off than me, even though I was pretty banged up being paralysed. But I had a guy next to me who got hit by a bus. I'm like, how the fuck you get hit by a bus?
Yeah.
Probably had his earphones in and walked out and got cleaned up.
on his mobile phone.
Just, people are so like that all the time. But
I feel like you're a bit of an outlier in that way, because I don't know, myself, like when I think about having to, and you're going to school me on this, but when I think about having to learn to walk again and all those things, everything's been stripped away from me, that's a negative to me. And I think that a lot of people are in that mindset. But you've said that you were positive, because I had a question for you. I was going to ask you, did you battle with depression and all that kind of thing during this process? And I think you've answered it. I don't think you did you?
So this has been 3 years now. The thing that really got me, and this is yet again another learning experience and what I've had to really suss out, there's a medication I was on, and I'm still on it. It's called Lyrica. Now, I know there's going to be people watching that have been on it. So Lyrica initially is neuropathic pathway pain. It creates a Band-Aid for the pain. The pain is like my right leg's burning now. It's not that bad because obviously I've got some Band-Aid effects to it. But that drug initially, I was on a higher dose, not as much as an addict or stuff like that. I don't want to really call people addicts, but people that try and get themselves away from reality taking this drug, they're on about 2,500 milligrams a day. I was on 600, and that stuff sent me into suicide mode. Now, I knew the suicide wasn't coming from me. It was something that was trying to control me. And that's why I'm not big on substance use as such of anything, because the minute it takes away my stimulation, I'm like, wow, it's not me. It's not the effects of my genuine, pure self from my soul. But this stuff was that demonizing that, it put me into a couple of episodes.
My wife has literally just transitioned off Lyrica.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe 600-700 milligrams she was on. We probably hit the comments, hit us up. She had some hip problems, hip dysplasia, had a lot of surgery, had a lot of complications from it, a lot of nerve pain.
Yeah.
She was on that. She's literally in the last couple of weeks just transitioned off it.
Dude.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of
that stuff. You've got to fine tune your way back from the dosage coming back.
Yeah, she's
you can't cold turkey.
Yeah, she's tapered. Yeah, she's tapered off.
It's deadly stuff. And the thing is, I understand how the pharmaceutical side of things in it is, and this and that and whatever. I was on an array of things through my recovery in the beginning: Targin, Tramadol, Endone, Lyrica, obviously as well. So there is some videos I've got, like I was saying before, where I'm just whacked out of my brain.
Yeah.
And I still got the message coming out in the video, but I'm just looking shit, just really dragged
and
out.
feeling mentally shit too, right?
Yeah, very congested. So the thing is
disconnected.
Yeah, the Lyrica itself initially, this is where I knew it was playing with me. My short-term memory became really bad. So it was getting frustrating because of that, but the sweats it gives you, the weight gain. I did a video on YouTube where I get out of the wheelchair and walk with crutches and this and that. And I look back now and I'm like, man, I was just chunky as.
Is that the video that you said?
But me diet was bad too.
Man.
Yeah. Not cool.
Is that the video?
I don't think you can call yourself chunky even if you're in a wheelchair, man.
It was just.
Is that the video that you said you decided you were going to walk today? Is that one? Or
Nah, that's initially. See, this is what kind of blows people out, and I don't go back and reflect on these. In that valuable moment of rehab, I wanted to be the best person I could for me. It wasn't to show anyone else. It was me doing it. People would get to see it because it shows a transition. It shows the power of the mind. The mind controls the body. It's not the body controlling the mind. So it was up to me to be domineering in that respect. But that time when I did get in, I woke up one morning probably within the first month. I can't even remember what it was. And my physio's like, oh, we're doing such and such. I said, no, we're not. She's like, what? I said, fuck this, I'm walking. She's like, what? I said, let's go. And that was it. Like, they had no choice with me. Whatever I wanted, I would put it to them because I knew with my personal drive,
Your own capabilities.
this is today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait 3 months until you go, now it's time to get up.
Yeah.
No.
It's such a minority of that way of thinking. It really is.
That's
And it's
full
good
on.
that you're so open
Yeah.
and willing to talk about it like that.
Mm.
It's
And the positivity, man. Fuck me.
Heaps happen. at
It's
rehab.
so good, man. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Imagine if someone in your, I would love to see this, like someone in your circumstances that had the opposite.
Mm.
So most people, whenever they stack a bike, are going to be like, fuck, what do I do now?
Mm.
That's
yeah,
how it would
my
be.
life's over, sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to be. It's about, then you're already behind
Mm.
because you've got the wrong mindset.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
Mm.
your positivity instantly,
You got to.
like that's what it was.
You got to
Yeah.
kick the shit out straight away. I don't believe there was a heap in the beginning, but the thing was, right, and this is what I picked up. Like I said, I've assessed everything. I have assessed everything. I've had to, because my own personal understanding on a difference, I can then scale that to other people and go, well, I know why things happen in my
Yeah.
life. But the minute I hit the earth, my ego left. We all hold an ego of some description.
Yep. 100%.
I had something around me, and I'm like, you know what? Ego ain't going to fucking do shit for
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
right now. So that all left, and my dignity changed again when I had to be in, like, you get a laugh out of it. I don't mind if you laugh. But I had to wear nappies because I
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
shit
of course.
myself
Yeah.
left, right, and
Yeah.
centre.
Yep.
And the minute I got starkers in front of nurses and everything else, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? These guys are here to help. And I
Yeah.
loved everyone that helped me because I know I'd always thank them because they're doing something for me where
Yeah.
it's like, I can't do this myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't believe, I don't know how many times I bloody cacked me dacks and this and that.
I knew somebody else that had a pretty bad road bike stack, and he damaged his back quite bad, and he had to learn to walk again as well, and all that kind of thing. And he said to me, he goes, "You know what the worst part was?" And I said, "What was the worst part?" He goes, "It wasn't the pain, the chronic pain." He goes, "It wasn't the operations, wasn't any of that." He goes, "It was not being able to wipe my ass."
Yep.
He goes, and like just being so embarrassed
And
to have
reliant. Yeah.
to have somebody like the young nurse come in and have to wipe my ass because I couldn't do it myself.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
Yep.
Didn't think about that.
Those little things that are independence to us and quite private, you would say, because
Yeah.
you are the one that's got to look after yourself for
Yeah.
hygiene purposes and everyday living. We all go to the toilet. You all want to look after yourself, but no one else is doing it for you. That's what it was. But yeah, I never forget that.
You
it
were
was
cool
just,
with it.
I had to.
It's
I'm
like
you
you
know
said, letting go of that ego.
what? If I fight against this and they say, right, yeah, will you do it yourself? I'll be like, I can't.
Yeah.
Those
Let go
people
of
have
that
to
ego
help.
and follow the process, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like,
You got to.
yeah.
You got to. And then I get told quite a lot and quite regularly off my psychic medium, let go of any ego to anything. And that's something I've really implemented in my life because why do I really need that there as such? You know, why do I need a
Hindrance,
refrain?
isn't it?
That's accepting who you are,
Yeah.
what your past has been. You don't
Yep.
need to hold that ego as such. We all have it to a degree. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
I reckon every person has it, don't they? They have an
Yeah,
ego.
absolutely.
Definitely.
There's something there. and it's-
100%.
Yeah.
100. Like
Everyone's got it.
I reckon until
Yep.
someone rams a tube up my Jap's eye, that's whenever I lose my ego. Once
No,
someone
yeah.
puts it like that's
Everybody
true.
does. I think it's a natural thing, but there's a balance with everything.
Mm.
Look, we all like. If you have no ego at all, I think you need a bit of an ego
Mm.
in life to succeed in things.
Yeah.
I feel, but there's got to be a balance with everything. If you've got too much ego and not enough,
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
a dick.
compassion or empathy or whatever,
Yeah.
you just turn into an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody has everything. Yeah, we have bits and pieces of everything, but the trick is to try and balance
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah.
It's true. And having an understanding, like just a common awareness on how you feel and what you're doing and what your actions are and what you're really stemmed about in your mentality. It's a big part of it. But we all have ego. It's a piece of chemistry.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's how you utilize it. Are you
Yeah.
doing it for good or bad? Is it something
Yeah.
that's all about you all
Yeah.
the time? I can't stand people like that. But
Yep.
you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, that completely came off me that day.
Most people don't even acknowledge that they have an ego, eh?
No.
Like, most people don't.
Man, if we start getting on the ego bandwagon right now,
He's got a whole episode lined up.
But the thing is with ego, you've got to understand the situations and exposures people have been through and why they'd be driven to have such an ego of what they're using it for when it comes to big material items and having
Yeah.
all these flash things in life. Well, where did you go wrong in life where you didn't get any attention potentially maybe back when you were a child?
Yeah.
It could have been a sibling
Yeah,
that was
you
getting
weren't
now you're
hugged
trying
enough.
to fight for all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So these are all the things I work with on a day-to-day basis when it comes to clients. There's all these trigger points and shifts within life with their mentality of why these things happen.
Yeah.
You know, and ego's just, But mine left and I got my butt wiped and that was cardio. And, yeah.
How long were you paralyzed for?
So I think you've got a picture somewhere that I sent through. I had, man, this is a good question because I reckon when I was about maybe 4 or 5 weeks in after having surgery, I was laying on my bed and my legs were just dumb. Like they were just, there was no signal really. And my big toe, I stared at it and it goes, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like it happened.
Yeah.
Because that happened, I'm like, I'm on the road
Yeah,
to recovery
there's a signal.
because your toe is the furthest thing away from the break.
That's
Yeah.
your mind working it straight away.
It twigged and I'm like, fuck, I couldn't get my phone out quick enough to start filming my foot just
Wow.
until it wanted to do it again. And I fucking lost it. And I knew that was a breakthrough. That was huge for me.
So
Huge.
were you actively trying to move it, or you just
Well,
saw it moving?
No. I think the thing is because of the neurotransmitter side of your body and this and that. Look, I think maybe at that time, potentially in my mind, I was just, I don't know. It's hard to think about now because when you're numb and there's nothing really there, I think in your mind, you're like, I really want something to go.
Mm.
But then to see something, it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
that was huge. Yeah, I definitely called some people in the show.
Insane.
How gnarly is that? Just like, because
That's
your toe moved a little
unbelievable.
bit, but that's a huge thing
yeah,
so far away
Whenever
from
you,
where the
and
injury was.
especially whenever you're planning on worst case scenario.
Yeah,
Like
what a
you're
celebration.
thinking like I'm getting nothing back. That's it. I'm looking to adapt towards life in a wheelchair.
Mm.
But yet, like you fucking come up 2 flights of stairs tonight,
yeah.
and that, what are we? A couple of years on?
Yeah, I jogged them backwards.
Yeah.
Do you
I
think
don't know if you're looking.
do you think, like you said, about how you, as soon as you hit the dirt, you knew something was really bad and you accepted straight away,
Mm.
back's broken, never going to walk again.
Mm.
Do you think that was very pivotal in your recovery?
Straight up.
Because
Yeah.
you'd kind of already,
I already blew past the mentality of waiting for something to happen. So in that time, in a deep stem of things, I already start working with things and manipulating my mind around, well, you know what? This is what the outcome is today. I don't need to expect it from someone else. Where does the journey start from here?
Yeah.
But it took to get through the professionals and such and get back into, get into a rehab to start understanding more. And I went through, they had no Wi-Fi. I was on Boost Mobile, still am, and I went through so much data because I was. The thing is with me, well, because YouTube was a big savior because I had an injury, I interrogated the internet that hard to seek the answers. Who else was going to qualify me for the answers?
yeah.
And that's what I did. I really put a lot of time and effort in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
And you were just saying that you've just started a new YouTube channel.
I have. So, I'll definitely be getting some content on there.
We'll smash it up under ours. We'll
Yeah.
go in there, hit the bell, smash that fucking bell button, get all the notifications.
Get it going. Yeah, no, definitely want to get the content out.
Seriously, if you I'm sure there's only a couple that haven't actually seen any of your videos. They're so motivating. They're so good. They just get you
Yeah.
up. They get you
Actually
going,
are.
man.
They're not just that cliche, like read off a script.
Don't have the music
Sort of-
in the background.
Yeah, like they're not
And
just
today,
they're just clean cut, raw. Half the time he's just cruising, sitting in the shed, all that sort of stuff. Just
Mm.
no man,
spin-
it's
spin it
seriously,
raw.
it's so fucking
Dropping the
motivating. It's
phone.
awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but that's the thing though. It's real. It's relatable. It's not bullshit. It's not edited. It's nothing. It's just
It's funny with the stories because when people used to piss me off in life, and I mean with whatever it was, I'd make a video on it,
Yep.
not directed at the person, but initially putting that forecast of what it was
Yeah.
essential
Yeah.
into that. And it was grabbing traction, And I still remember the first video I did back in the day when I was training at the gym up north. And I reckon it took me 8 goes to word it right without stuffing the words up and going, oh, shit,
Yeah.
I'll start again. And it went well. It did go well. And I'm like, it was hard because you had people around you that probably didn't like you and you've rubbed people up the wrong way and they're watching it. You kind of felt real funny about it. Whereas
Yeah.
now, I'll rattle anything
shouldn't give a
off.
fuck.
Yeah.
Well, whoever watches it now gets to watch it, see it. Whoever, I don't care. You've
Yeah.
got to understand, I think, being a motivational speaker, being a coach, being a life coach and doing these things, I had to get through some breakthroughs with it, I'm telling you, because I was still in trauma, and
yeah.
Mm.
detriment even before the accident. So,
So
yeah.
how did you find that thing though of like that medium ground? You're still going through trauma,
Mm.
yet wanting to help people. Obviously, that could be a detriment, as in trying to help people yet while still going through trauma. When did you find that middle ground where you're
Oh,
like,
yeah, man, like it's funny you say that. When I was living up north and I was going through very severe financial hardship, And that can send blokes to put a rope around their neck and hang off a
Absolutely.
bloody tree. It was full on. And even when I was going through it and I didn't have a great deal, I had all this shit going on. I didn't really have an income. And it was that part of what was going on. I could go into it like that. Anyway, I even with Facebook, a lot of people always hit me up, I'm really fucked with this and blah, blah, blah. And I'd put so much energy in the day into helping other people, it would send me to bed. I was
Yeah.
that emotionally
Yeah.
drained.
Yeah.
Is that part of being an empath, though?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been one to hand that energy out.
Can you explain to people
Mm.
that are listening that don't know the term, what is an empath?
So, an empath, or how I see myself being within that sort of area, is when people are down and out and they're sad, emotional, I feel that energy from those people. So if someone comes to me, I've just been through a relationship breakup, my mentality is already triggering about certain relationship breakups maybe I've been through as well. And I understand how the person feels. And that's the thing, you can really relate to people that are down and out, but yet a lot of people that are snakes in the world will come to you and steal your emotional energy and then piss off. Hence the clothing brand
Energy
Stay Fake
vampires.
Clothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give
Yes.
that a bit of a plug.
Talking about talking about Stay Fake, I wanted like a lot of people have asked me.
Yep.
Ask him what it means. What
This
does
is-
it mean?
This is a good conversation because, so I'll go through it briefly. So years and years and years ago here in Shepparton, I had a tattooist here, Gyrophale. He's in Melbourne now. And I said, man, I want to get my hands tattooed. Like I was just in a trend of getting tattoos. So I was young, jumping dirt bikes and just being, a pisshead, typical, whatever. We'll get tattoos. It looks cool. That's where it all started. Sorry, boys, about all that.
Everyone's
Looking
tatted
at
up
all
here.
your tattoos.
We're all cool.
But Jai said to me, he
Old
goes,
dickheads.
he's like, man, why don't you get like hold fast on your knuckles because it's an old sailor saying. And I'm like, man, I'm not about all that old stuff. He's like, oh, why don't you get Stay Fake? And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, you're the only guy I know that people go to and get help all the time, and then they burn you and take off. You never see him again. And I'm like, kind of makes sense. And that was about 2004, so a long time ago. And then when I went up north to the Gold Coast, I'm like, this brand needs to start because it was just full of fake people. They were all about image. They will burn you to make money, everything. It was just insane. I'm like, I need to register this business, and I did. But Stay Fake is that. The people in the world that are fake, it's basically fuck the fake people.
Yeah.
That's it. Puts it back on them. But a lot of people that don't know the brand, they go, oh, what's Stay Fake mean? And you got to tell them, or they get offended because of it because they are a fake person.
Yes.
But yeah, the brand itself, people really get it. A lot of people do get it, and that's what it is basically. Fuck the fakes. Everyone's had a fake person in their life.
Mm-hmm.
I've had way too many, and that's why the brand did its thing. So
Yeah.
that's really big around the motocross scene, the car scene, and also the branding itself and having me attached to it. That's big on mental health awareness because you've got someone at those events that can help people, talk to people, and nurture people through, these detriments of life and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the brands,
You fuck them off straight away, though, don't you? Like whenever you get these cons, and they're like, you know exactly what they're doing instantly.
Yeah. That's look. The
You
thing
get that. You get as we go back. Whatever you put out, you get back.
Yep.
And whenever, because I try and put out positivity, whenever you know that you're putting out positivity and they're trying to shit on it almost instantly, but you're taking that positivity, it's like, you know what, fuck you. It's not even worth it.
Even in like common scenarios now, I read people for a living. That's my job, is to understand that person's reasoning of being, their perceptive of who they are, or whatever. I pick on that straight away now. Back in the day, I think I probably let my guard down a bit too much and allowed people in being that empath.
You want
side
to
of
share
things.
with everybody.
Yep, but then people will take it for, they'll take you for a ride.
Do you feel there's been people, though, that you found at the start being fake, being a wall, putting up that face, and that you found to be...
And what
being
have
able to
I
break
not
that
dealt
down?
with, really, with people?
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
I've had
I reckon 90% of people put up a wall.
yeah, but I mean, like
and
you
then
said,
once
you said before about like, oh, you fake piss off sort of thing.
Yeah.
As in, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have come in and you've broken down that wall.
You've
got
got
to that point, instead of being like, you're not letting that wall down, or you are genuinely fake. As in, like, you've broken that wall down and been able to actually
the thing is,
connect with them.
with humanity as such, with people, they all have an agenda. There's an underlying motive of how people work, and whether it is ego-driven, like we said before, or what. For me, I will give people, I open up in the beginning, right? Because I know how to deal with people anyway. So I'll give them 110%, so to speak, right? I'll give you my trust, my honesty, the worth. But the minute you fuck it, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I give it the world, baby.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. That's just it.
So let's go back, right, talking about your job now.
Mm.
So you're on the recovery. You're on the mend.
Yes.
You've decided, fuck it, I'm walking. Right.
Yeah.
So and you were doing heaps of videos from rehab,
Rehab,
and you
yep.
you were documenting the whole thing.
Mm.
So what made you go, all right, I'm going to go out and
Pursue this
Yeah.
life coaching journey.
yes. So you've always had like as you said, you've always had a background. You've always been a positive person. You've always been someone that people come to dump their feelings and that kind of thing.
Yep.
So where was that transition where you said, all right, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do?
You know, this question I will start with. Now that I know it's always been destined to be this way, I had to shake off all the shit in life, all the bad relationships, all the driven agendas that have come to me in a program sense. It's made me into who I am.
Yep.
I'm not saying that my past has made me who I am. I'm not going to say there's bad situations, but I had to break through all the fake people that have been around, whether it has those that have had agendas in relationships in particular, male, female, whatever. You've got to swim your way out of the shit and congestion. And I've always had this journey of being the life coach or being the motivator. I'm the one that gives people confidence, right? Where they lack, I make it to be more sustainable.
Yep.
But it's taken so long for me to break free. Now, I think the shift happened. So my accident was a spiritual awakening, right? So hitting the earth, having everything changed, the value and the pathway moving forward in my life completely changed. But it was meant to be that way. Right, we all have a guided sense of why we're here, what we do. The universe gives us a journey.
So you believe everything happens for a reason? You're
Straight
one of
up.
those people?
Of course
And
it
it
does.
always works out in the
These
long
boys
run.
give me shit because every time we're fucking around, like I'll say, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like while we're
Yep.
fucking around, I sit out, I look at the fucking stars every night. Truthfully, that's what I do, and he always gives me shit for it.
Do I?
Sad
yeah,
moment.
all the time. You're like, yeah, you're universal. That's what
Yeah.
you look towards. I'm like, yeah, of course it is. That's
Mm.
exactly what I look towards. You get it back. As long as you put it out there, you get it back all the time.
So how do you keep yourself? How do you like implement self care when you're taking on so much from people, like emotional, like spiritually, everything like that? How do you make sure yourself is cared for? Because it is a lot to take on.
This has taken quite a lot for me to understand because, you know, even when I was in a wheelchair, I was still helping people. When I was learning how to walk and get up on crutches, I was still helping people. So I'm always still putting other people first before myself.
So you were helping other people in rehab,
Oh, flat out.
doing it yourself.
Man,
Yep.
the amount of times that I lifted the bar with some people in there.
Yeah.
It's what they needed. We're all in the same boat. We're all injured and damaged people because of an accident, so to speak. And that was really, really, that was good. That taught
do you
me
think?
something
Do you think that helped you by helping others? Do you think that helped you?
straight up.
They
in a
give
way.
you that emotional
Elevated my
energy,
profile straight up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think because I was in detriment when it came to physical performance, mental performance, no, I was still all there. I was just on a new journey with a new task at hand, and that was to get up and start walking again. That's what it was. So I already felt my way, but I wanted to have other people feel that way as well as I was going. So it was an elevation. I loved rehab. Like, no shit. I woke up every day and just went fucking hard. I had
to better yourself.
Yeah.
But if you miss the opportunity of what could have been and you don't do
It's a
it,
loss of a day.
that's just it. So I
Yeah.
just went hard out with it. Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved
So
it.
now that you're further on now and you're helping people constantly, and let's go back to whenever you said like it drains you because you're taking on all of their problems.
It used to, yeah.
Well, it used to. Yeah. Do you now have a way to deal with it?
So
Like do you have to get into a zone? Like my auntie's a massive medium, and she has to get into a zone before she actually sits down with you and then interacts with you.
Yeah,
Yep.
because now
Because
you're doing
it
it for a
drains her.
job.
So straight off the bat, if anyone comes to me that has, I don't want to say depression, anxiety, all that, but people are suppressed in their value. They
Could be
don't feel
anything. Could be
themselves.
looking to launch a business. It could be,
Whatever.
and then I've got these quims and qualms.
It's a great way to
Yeah.
put it, though. Like you just said then, suppressing your value.
That's
Mhm.
what it is.
It's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I understand there's clinical things of what they want to do when it comes to professionals.
And it's like you
doctors,
said
this
earlier
and that.
on, it's that structure. It's that
Yeah.
step 1, step 2
Yeah.
diagnosis by the
What
book.
medication
Yeah.
can I script for you today?
Yeah.
The thing is, what I generally do, even now, I get on my Harley. I've got to vent. I've got to get out.
Yep.
I look for the finer qualities in life that give me value and substance.
That almost tops you up.
Straight up.
Yeah.
So catching up, like locally, I've got a couple of nephews. I'll go and see them. I'll catch up with my sister. Go on the Harley. Get in the shed and work with dirt bikes. I bought and sold so many bikes through my recovery. Being in a wheelchair, not in a wheelchair. As long as I was mentally trying to put performance into something and seeking that reward back, which is attention to detail, I did heaps of that. I worked
Yeah.
on so many bikes. I couldn't even tell you what I bought and sold through that time. It was hard work. Don't get me wrong. It was because sitting down and having that pressure through my lumbar, man, it was hard trying to be in a chair and do that. But I did it. At the end of the day,
that's your regime almost.
that's what it is. It's just going back to what you love. And I'm lucky that I've got a lot of different scope of skills.
You found those things now that top you up emotionally and give you that fulfillment
Small rewards, mate.
to be able to pass on.
Small
to other people.
rewards.
Yeah.
If you
And by
work,
the way, just real quick, that bike come up really good.
which one?
The one you done lately.
I can't even remember it. Which
Stay
one?
fake sticker kit and everything
Oh
on
man,
it.
I had done like 10 of them. Which one?
Was it a
The
YZ?
Yamaha that got sold the other
YZ?
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid was stoked.
Yeah, that was mint.
But same deal. I get to design my own graphics through the clothing brand. I get to just put things. It's all custom stuff. You know,
we
that's
should
what I love.
we should get us set up with the Stay Fake logo.
I've got clothes in the car.
Oh, do you?
Well, to be
Fucking
fair,
what the
I
fuck are
tried
they
to
in
get.
your
I
car
tried
for?
to score
No, they're
a
in
hat.
his car.
He
I
didn't have
bought,
any
I bought them in
hats.
November.
He sold
no
out of
hat. I
everything.
bought
I
him in
tried to score
November.
a
Oh,
t-shirt.
And I
You've
left.
sold out, have you?
I've only got bigger sizes left. Yeah, nothing for the little dudes.
Might need to bulk up for winter, boys.
Oh, okay.
Winter boat.
Hey,
Go back to
who you calling
115.
little? Who you calling little?
Yeah, no.
The fucking little tax roll.
Okay, so you recovered. You're walking.
Mm.
You've decided I'm going to go on this path of, helping others for a living.
Yep.
So walk us through that. Where was the next stage where you said, all right, I'm going to start studying? Was that after your recovery? Were you already, were you walking around? Were you out of hospital?
I think, I went through my own recovery because I had to piece together what I needed to survive. And everything that I've really dealt with on a study basis, whether it is just getting on YouTube or studying a course of such or being through something like that strategic, it's always been something that it's a comparison to me of my future betterment. I'm like, you know what? If that's going to work for me with what I've been through, it's going to be a breeze for everyone else.
Everyone can take us on
And that's
board.
exactly, it's just a mirror effect. Whatever I've taken in has always been a substance for
And
someone
then
else.
you want to almost just supply that to the rest of the world.
Yeah, straight up.
And that's so good, man.
The goal is now, doing face-to-face and stuff on an hourly basis with clients. Hey, that's great. But I want a stimulation package of something where people tap in and they can utilize that. Like same as what I've done, the benefit of under my own roof, you can study it, you can imply it. Because the biggest thing in life is action. We can have all the theory, but if you're not actioning things, and I don't see failure in life, there's risk.
Yeah.
Is it going to work or isn't it? Understand what the risk capability is in something when it comes to your mental values and what you do. There's no failing. It's lessons.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got to start implying words different because people think, oh, I really failed at that. I don't want to go back to it. It's not that. It's a lesson. Learn from the lesson.
So how far, like what time frame are we talking from? So you've broke your back. You've said, fuck it, I'm walking again.
Yeah.
Right. Helping others through the rehab to getting out of rehab. So when you're walking again, all the doctors are blowing out because you're walking around when you shouldn't be.
Especially
How
the
long
surgeon.
after, sorry, just quickly on a side note, how long after was your big toe moving?
I reckon it was like within the first month to 6 weeks.
That's awesome, man.
I think
That's so good,
I
man.
was learning how to transfer from wheelchair to bed,
Yeah.
which was just gnarly because I had no center of gravity, no balance.
Mm.
Super dodgy. If the chair moved, man, I was
You were
straight on the
fucked.
ground.
Yeah.
Like it was just crazy.
So you did fall a few times.
I at rehab, no.
He's like, no.
not at rehab. I had because my incision area was 300 mil, so I had a foot cut in my back. So all the strands of muscles and everything that stabilize that area,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
was gnarly. I had
destroyed.
78 staples or something in my back. So I had this massive area that if I had a hiccup, I'd be tearing stuff open like it was full on.
So
but
they were assisting you in and out,
yeah,
constantly.
yeah, and then trying to go to the toilet every morning by myself. You got to transfer into a chair that's got a hole in it. You shit into a tub, and
Yeah.
like I was.
So you can't have an ego when you're doing that. Like you got to let it all go.
what's the
So
point?
detrimental having an ego.
You got
in that
someone
position,
wiping your
right?
ass. There's no ego
But
there.
the thing is, why should I put neglect back on the people that are out there to help?
And
And I'm already one of those.
and all
people
you
in a
were
different
was
way.
thankful. You were so thankful
Oh,
of
yeah,
them
big time. Big
because,
time.
and it probably, if anything, it made you thank them more because it's like I never understood what you were actually doing beforehand, but now
It was
I'm
making
so-
my day easier.
Yeah.
But some of the chinwag that went on from some of the people that were in there to the nurses, I'm like, man, you're very nasty.
yeah, you're
Like,
carrying on
Yeah,
here.
they,
like a
they,
fucking-
they
much
would,
up.
Yeah.
you know, that the nurses and healthcare professionals, they cop it.
Oh,
They
bad.
cop it.
bad.
People are in pain. People are shitty. People
Yeah,
are
well,
angry.
They're dealing with people at their lowest.
I've seen it
Aren't
all.
they?
Yeah, but the thing is, how you work on a cognitive basis at your lowest. Like, why not be the best value you can
Yep.
be down there? Because when shit in life is good, you're thriving, and you
Yeah.
know what works for you. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. You know, honesty is the best policy. All these good things. Like, just be the best
Yeah.
that you can be, and that's how I felt the
So
whole time.
why are we negative? Why are people negative in times like that? I know it's so obvious to say, oh, because they're hurting, they're in pain. Why do you think majority? Because let's be honest, the vast majority of people aren't going to be like you.
No, definitely
No,
not.
In that
I would say
minority.
90%.
I'm thinking about it
Yeah.
now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck,
Nah,
that,
man.
I would be spewing.
Definitely not.
So why are we negative in those situations?
So the thing is, it all comes back to mentality. So what I would look at is a reflection of what people have had to deal with in the past. If people are neglecting them, they're going to neglect themselves. That's what I was saying before about having an identity. We all have an identity. Yeah, my name's Chris, but that's just a label
It's just
to me.
that's just a couple of letters.
But me, as a spiritual being as such, I have something inside that I get to share all the time.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. So even though I've had shit happen, I look at that lesson of why and move on from that. Whereas people go, that's happened to me. That's going to identify me. And then
Yeah.
other people are going to see and feel that that's my identity.
Mhm.
And they get squashed in life. So when these things happen, they don't know how to help themselves because
Yeah.
they've never done it. They've always just had neglect.
Yeah.
And neglect is always there. And that's how I see it. They're a low vibration person. They just don't get past the potholes in life when you can. You can get beyond that
And
shit.
do you find some of those people you meet, some of those people that contact you for help, can't get past being that low vibration person? Like no matter what tools you give them, they just can't switch into that.
I'm going to
next year.
say, and I'll be very honest, I've had a very good success rate when it comes to dealing with people.
Yeah.
Hashtag power up coaching.
Yeah, like I haven't been through everything in life, but with what I've been exposed with and what I've learnt, there's so many similar patterns in life. People don't have the good chemicals burning in their body, whether it's poor diet, not exercising, damaged relationship, damage of things at work.
Just bad behaviors too, right?
It's what
Like-
it is. Like, it's all how your thoughts and feelings, behaviors come, right? Whatever you're thinking about, you're going to feel it, and then you're going to bloody obviously have a behavior behind it. You need to shift that. That's
It's
the element
like you
to
said
it.
early on too, that 30 days to make a new
Habit.
habit, right?
Exactly.
Like a lot of people are just stuck in those old habits.
Yeah,
Right?
people
and,
just
and they haven't had, whether it's the tools, whether it's their own mindset, whatever it is, to shift that habit
Yep.
into a new habit, right?
Yep. So
Yeah.
I think the thing is, in with being habitual on a sense of what we do, like 30 days isn't that long. You know, if you change
No.
your diet for 30
No.
days, your body's going to start changing. Your
Yeah.
energy's going to, your sleeping changes, everything
Yeah.
changes. But people are like, oh, it's too far away.
Yeah.
Fucking really? 30 days?
Yeah.
Like, get your shit together. It's not that hard. But I think accountability is a big thing.
Yep.
People go, oh, New Year's resolution. Does it last 30 days?
Yeah.
Sometimes. But it wears off because
Yeah.
there's no real accountability in it.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's super important or very relatable if you're going to go to a life coach or somebody to, or a counselor or whatever, that they have been through some life lessons as well.
I think so.
It's super important.
That's like I said earlier on too, like the way Chris approaches it is totally different than someone that's bound by their training, by the association they're in. A lot of those psychologists are in there. They're in a, what would you call it? Like a clique. They have to go by certain guidelines, certain rules, where you've done that basic training, that basic psychology wise, the behavioral therapy, things like that. But yeah, you can put an unbelievable twist, a very personal twist for each person you come across. You're not stuck in the bounds of the rules.
yep.
You can really do your thing.
It's different framework. I think the thing is, like I was saying, I don't want to sit there and if someone says to me and exposes what something happened in the past that created trauma, I already know the effects of what need to happen after that. It's not
Yep.
like, let's talk about that
Yeah.
because I really want you to come back next week. It's not about that. My framework's different. What do we got now? What are we going to work with?
Yep.
How do you feel? And I've got mindset interrogations that I use with clients in a positive way. It's not
Yep.
a negative thing. Interrogation. I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just that
You're
word
not
that
beating
sounds-
it. You're not
yeah.
beating the
Yeah.
piss out of
It's
them.
displaying an emotional effect of how you are right now.
Yep.
How do you feel as a core value within yourself? I want you to explode that onto a piece of paper in words.
Yep.
Because every word holds substance. There's emotion, there's energy, there's something in a word. You say sad, there could be 35 years of your life hidden in that one word.
Yeah.
Right? We need to shift that.
Yeah.
Same depression, anxious, lonely, disappointed. They all hold words, right? And I work off that vibrational essence of going, well, I understand you feel neglect there, but let's flip that word into something else and explain why it's there.
Yep.
And it's always to do with other people in life. It's not always about yourself.
Yeah.
It's what other people have done, or you've been in a position or around something where something's happened.
Yep.
It's created trauma. There's so many different things that you can
Yeah.
go through. But it's very straightforward for me. Yeah.
I've seen you on your social media. I've seen you talk about self-sabotage quite a bit.
Oh, I talk about everything. Yeah.
You you do, but
Yeah.
self-sabotage for me, it kind of hits me a little bit,
Yeah.
and I want to hear your point on it because we all do it. I feel to a point.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
for myself, I know.
I'll start charging you boys for this.
Yeah.
episode.
And this
I
is
know
our-
what's
this
going
is
on.
our-
got a-
this is
we've
our-
got a
free
free
therapy.
Just invoices.
We've got a free therapy session here.
Yeah, we can
look,
go into that.
For myself, you know, I know I've done it in the past. With, for example, jiu-jitsu is just one. I've done jiu-jitsu on and off for 4 years, and it's something I took to when I started doing jiu-jitsu, as we call it, jiu-jitsu back in the favelas.
Mm.
I've done it on and off for 4 years, and it's something I picked up quite fast. I picked it up well, and people said, you stick at it, you're going to be very good at it, blah, blah, blah. But I found myself almost like with self-sabotage, we let ourselves get in the way of our goals, right? And with myself, I know I put so much pressure on myself to be as good as I could be and be the best at my academy and be better than everybody that I would almost make excuses to not reach those goals. I know you're laughing,
go.
right? But hear me out.
Go on. No, keep going. I love this shit.
So I would, like for a competition, for example, I would sound like a real loser right here, but I would purposely, in retrospect, I would purposely I'd train hard, right? I'd be fit, whatever, but I wouldn't go as hard as I could because then if I didn't win,
Yeah.
I'd have no excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'd be
Yeah.
letting yourself
Yeah.
down.
I'd be like, I didn't win, but I could have trained a bit harder and then I would have beat
Yeah.
everybody.
I was busy. I had other stuff. I didn't
Right.
train quite as hard, right?
And I would make excuses not to go to class. I would
Yeah.
do things, I would start.
Bit of self-sabotage on it.
I feel like we all do it to a point. And why do you think we do it? And how do we get out of that mindset, of that defeatist mindset, that self-sabotage mindset? If we got goals, how do we go for them
Without doubt.
without setting ourselves up
Yeah.
to fail?
It's not even setting yourself up for fail. You're allowed to fail.
There's a lot of substance in what you just said. So I've just interrogated the fucking ass out of you right now with that whole thing.
I seen his eyes
Good.
the whole time.
But
just
the
like,
thing
I
is,
felt scared saying it.
but you've got to
just
understand.
analysing.
You got to understand, right? So procrastination is a massive killer. That kills
Yes.
dreams, right?
I'm the procrastination king.
Why?
Talk to me.
Why?
Is it insecurity? I don't know. Is it laziness?
How far do you want to go into this? Because I could seriously throw a lot of questions at you right now.
Get some money off him
Let's
first.
do it.
Fuck's sake, relax.
I'll-
Get
I'll-
some more off him.
Set up that direct debit.
I'll keep this just within a talk comparison without
Yeah.
going too deep because I would seriously strip your soul apart.
I might have to come see you actually after this.
You've got to understand with
I've got a spur room next door where you can cuddle.
I cry.
Does that make it better?
that's going
He's
to
a
cost
cuddle
him.
coach.
It's going to cost him
Power
as well.
cuddle.
Gonna cost him.
Yeah, power cuddle up coach.
Tap and go. I got the FPass machine here. So procrastination is a killer because that's your mind talking you out of things that you really want to do.
Yep.
But at the same time, you said competition. You want to get involved with competition, but yet you won't go all out. But there's something in life that I don't know how. See, this is where I can get really personal, and I don't think we need to go into it.
Nah, do it.
No,
Do it.
because
Do it for
No, I
sure.
can't.
Just
Come on,
general.
mate.
I'm going to
can't.
cry on my own podcast.
Exactly. It'll get emotional because in life, right, with what I've worked with my array of clients, and there's been freaking heaps, and they've been from everywhere over the world. If I've Skyped with people or whatever, everyone's got similar situations.
Yeah.
But growing up when there's siblings and stuff like that, sometimes there is a sibling that does get that more emotional connection with the parent,
Yeah.
and the other one not as much. But it can stem very deep into that kid's head.
Yeah.
Why is he getting everything? Why is she getting everything? Why don't I get loved? That's an early thing that you program into your mind. So as you go through life, sometimes you don't want to pour it all in because someone in the family or someone in that connection hasn't put all into you.
And do you
There's a
feel
massive
like
separation.
when it got as you're younger, you're a little bit more vulnerable
You're open like a sponge.
to those feelings, to those
Yep.
emotions.
You expect family to be your number one caring point
Yeah.
and go to when you're growing up because that's all you know. You want to be loved
Yeah.
and you want to be happy.
Yep.
But unfortunately, we pick up on feelings. We're spiritual beings that do that. So as a kid, if there's separation, I still remember because my parents divorced, or they split when I was 4.
Yep.
I still remember the day they split.
Yeah.
And it's like you've already got one parent that you're hanging with, which was my mum.
Yep.
And my father, he was on the outside. So then there was that initial separation.
Yeah.
And I've still had to work out in my life till a couple of years ago, probably even recently, more breakthroughs I've had on why there's been separations and why there's been people
Yeah.
doing things. And there's so much to it. So for
Yep.
you on a competition
Yes.
aspect, you're lacking something because of something in your life hasn't performed for you. Why the fuck are you going to perform for anything else?
Mm.
You haven't had it.
Yeah. Right.
There's so much in it. If you
Yeah.
went to go to jiu-jitsu or whatever the fuck you jiu-jitsu or whatever.
Jiu-jitsu.
That
You know,
comes
but- you
every
know-
episode.
Do you know El Guapo? You know Bass Rutten? You know that guy?
Jiu-jitsu.
He knows
Yes,
all.
I know
Oh,
them all.
Fuck man, he's
Yep.
sick, man. I learned the best bar fight
Baz
stuff online
Rutten.
for him. If you wanted to compete,
Yep.
and I had to be a motivational coach or a mentor for that, you would win.
Mm-hmm.
Mind over matter. All
Yep.
day.
I'm telling you,
All day.
that's what people need. But the problem is in common day society now, people can't afford that all the time. If you're living week to week, how are you meant to get the help?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to develop programs, things where people can tap into online,
Yep.
use it as a resource. We all don't get it. I never got it.
Yeah.
I had to try and dig my own bloody hole, get out of it to find what I needed.
Yeah.
Not everyone can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You're
that's-
giving away for free on your Facebook, man.
Yeah,
Like you
that's
literally are giving it away for free on your Facebook.
So today, things are changing a little bit.
$19.99 subscription.
Yeah, look
So-
out.
Para.
Seriously,
Start
though,
getting the membership going.
seriously, man. See, whenever I watch your videos, I get goosebumps
Good.
because it's so relatable
It is.
on so many
It is.
different levels. It's
is.
so
I
relatable,
appreciate it. I'm glad it bloody
and
works.
it
No,
makes
is a
good
it
thing.
makes
It is,
you
though.
it makes you want to do better the next day.
Yep.
Like as soon because I usually listen to it at nighttime, so the next day I think I'm gonna smash today.
Yeah. I listen to it multiple times.
There you go.
It's so good, man. Seriously, it's
A
so
big-
you
fucking
do.
A
good.
big thing that I'll forecast while I'm on here is that there is that transitional point now. See, on Facebook, I can put so much content out, but there's no follow through action to go to something else. And I think people really want to deal with themselves in their own home, but having something of substance. That's what I've done for years.
Yep.
I've always been on YouTube utilizing, or I've tapped into
Yep.
Greg Plitt. Did you ever hear of Greg Plitt, who was
No,
in the
I've heard of
States? He
Greg
was
Plitt.
he was sick. He passed away, unfortunately, but that guy, I tapped into a lot of his stuff and I'd pay for the stuff. If you pay attention.
Mhm.
The problem is on my
Mm.
page. Yes, it's all free,
Yeah.
but I'm going to start moving people into a
Yeah.
closed group where they can get
Yeah.
the resource, and I'm always
Yeah.
in there. And the personal page starts to die off a little bit, so that's something
Yep.
that's coming up as
You reckon
well.
you'll go to Patreon or YouTube or something along those lines?
I think I'll be utilizing the platforms as such: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
But there will be programs that can be purchased. Like I want to run an 8-week, course initially challenge, where it'll shift people.
That's awesome.
Now
So
he's
that's
been on the
something so
Trojan
good.
hour, he might take up podcasting.
Who knows? Who knows?
It's that thing too, though. You can see there's so many people out there these days that have that paid content.
Yep.
And you can tell they're just pumping it out. It's generic,
Mm.
and it's to make money.
Mm.
It's not relatable.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
that actually. Let's talk about influencers.
All right.
All right. So, look, what do you think of Instagram influencers and that kind of thing? Because what I kind of feel is you got these
Get that one for me.
You got the
Yeah, they get that one because
Hang
everyone.
on, wait. I'm
Yeah.
switched here. Go on.
Everyone thinks that they're a fucking life coach at the minute,
Yeah.
and do you know what? You're
Yeah.
giving out bad fucking
Yep.
information, man.
So the
Yeah.
thing, what I
Very
see happen is with these Instagram influencers and these chicks with the squat, but look,
Yeah.
they're all the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
You could grab like every Instagram influencer chick, and they're all the fucking same.
They are.
They're like they're
Absolutely.
all programmed the
Yeah.
same way. They all
And-
look the same. They
yeah.
all talk the same.
Buy my program.
And I feel like all you see from these women is pictures of their ass, pictures of all the fucking
Because that's what's making people.
of all the cruise ships they're on, of all these
Yeah.
perfect lives that
Yeah.
they portray these perfect lives,
Yeah.
and it's just all bullshit, mate.
Yeah.
It's all fake, and I feel like people look up to these influencers, and
That's their
it's not real
expectation
life,
of life.
man.
Yeah, but
And
they put that as their expectation of life.
and then they're letting
Why aren't
themselves
why
down.
aren't I living like that? Why aren't I getting
I
that?
feel
why aren't I
like-
doing that?
I feel like that's almost a negative, in a way where, they're all portraying this life it's not real. Everyone has issues.
100%.
Everybody has issues.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are,
Yeah.
how rich you are. Everyone has problems.
Yeah.
But then I get more fucking I get more G'd up watching fucking Sea Dog over here in the car.
Sea Dog.
Speaking-
That's
Yeah,
like
dropping
speaking-
the phone.
I do
Just
like
being raw.
I
Heard
get
it
so much
before.
fucking
Yeah.
so much more motivation from it because I know it's real. It's actually what he's saying relates to me,
Yeah.
and it's not you're not building yourself up. So whenever you watch these videos, you're being let down almost instantly because you're looking around
Yeah.
going, "Fuck, my gaff doesn't look as good as this."
Yeah.
So
What happens
So
if
what
I
do
want
you
to do
think-
yoga?
my question for you is, what do you think about these influencers that paint this picture of this perfect life that it's not real?
Yep.
And what could they be doing?
Without
What could they be
offending half of
doing?
it.
What could they be doing to actually approach
Buy
mental
their
health
6-week program.
in a real
Dude.
way to help people?
Fucking hell, you're really opening up a kettle of fish here. So, what I've noticed with social media, I was tapping out of social media quite a lot because I felt myself changing because of it. It's not my authentic self. If I'm not my authentic self, I can't project the correct mannerism of things of what I want to do to help people, right? So, there's a lot of manipulation in the world. Social media is one of them, right? They will stem and try and program people to be of something like the Kardashians and all those other
Yeah.
fucking dickheads.
Yeah.
Same deal. They try and social condition people to be the sheep. You know, we'll just follow this. We've got to buy this bag. We've
Yeah.
got to have this lifestyle. It's a crock of shit.
And the thing is,
I
too,
can't tie into it.
It can get into every aspect of your life. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not during the day. It's when you're at home in your safe. Your home's supposed to be a safe space where you're just yourself. But having that phone in your hand,
It's
flicking
detriment.
through Instagram,
Yeah.
flicking through Facebook, it gets in you 24/7.
Yep.
It's in your
It
face.
conditions you. And that's the problem I was saying about habitual ways before of 30 days of change. If you're on the phone every day for that 30 days, you're guaranteed to pick it up for the next 30 days, guaranteed.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
no different to fucking table
And
tennis.
it takes away your morals and I
It's
think your service of standard of who you are. Like, don't get me wrong, when you get on Instagram, like my old accounts that I used to have so much puss on there, it was insane.
Yeah.
But it's like
Cut it out. We'll cut that.
balling in it.
Tepsy, we're going to cut that out. When we put that on Apple Podcasts, we'll get kicked off.
Tepsy's our audio engineer.
I'll take it out.
No, we'll leave that in.
I'm only stirring.
So the thing is, right, our brain doesn't work unless it's in a visual matter. All we think is pictures.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. If you try and think of something, it has to be a visionary.
Yeah.
The problem is this is manipulating people's minds. So if I had a shit ton of chicks on mine, like I used to, because I thought it was really cool, it's showing you so much of what you can't have.
Yeah.
Like it is a detriment. It is trauma to certain people. So what I do now is have nothing of influence.
Yep.
If it is someone I'm following that's in the fitness industry that I really look up to, or they've got quality that I want to adapt to, Joe Dispenza, people like that, whether it's Bob Proctor, whether it's Tony Robbins,
Yep.
because the minute I get in, I try and utilize now my social media platforms as a vision board.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to post, I don't really do it anymore, but if I want to post a car that I want, I'll chuck it up there. So every time I'm in there checking through my stuff, I've got that affirmation in front of me going
Almost as a goal, like
straight up, just a vision
Yep.
board, having pictures of the things that
Yeah.
you want in life. But I've never in my life put a picture of a female on my vision board because you're always transcending into different elements of life. And as you grow, better substance comes back. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why put a photo of someone now when I'm probably going to surpass whatever that quality is anyway?
Yeah.
It's not about looks. It's about a soul connection
That's
with
right.
someone. And it's
100%.
huge. This is a whole
100%.
nother avenue we can go down. is an attraction to the opposite sex.
Yeah.
It's insane. So there's so much behind it, but I just feel, the manipulation that's behind things now, they've got it so up to speed that people are sheeping effect to what it is.
It's,
and
it's funny to
no
see
good.
too how many of them are, if you really look into it, how many actually use psychology and have
Do you wash your
psychologists
hands?
have psychologists on their side
Got a job to do.
to learn how to market, to learn how to get in people's heads.
So this is the thing, right? This is what I worked out quite some time ago. And this is when I take a shift in myself going, dude, are you really doing the right thing on social media for yourself, or are you really trying to fuck it up? They've got psychologists behind things. So the minute you get likes, comments, shares, it triggers off dopamine as such in your brain.
Yeah.
So people are just stimulated.
Yeah.
So imagine if social media, like they cut out how many people
Yes.
like something for a
Yeah.
while. Now it's back again because my profile pic on
Yeah, you couldn't
Facebook's got
see,
like
right?
600 people that's
You
liking
couldn't
it.
see how many people liked or something?
There
Is
you
it
go.
back
Yeah.
again?
Yeah.
Really? Because
No joke.
they were losing their minds.
Yeah.
Oh,
All the
lost it,
squat
eh?
booty chicks on Instagram
Yeah.
I
are
thought,
dying in
I
the
thought
arse.
the likes was
Yeah.
a badass thing, but I did change my profile pic, and it's got 600 people that liked it from when I had a big following.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm like, that number, it doesn't pay me an income. Why should that matter a fuck to me? It
Yeah.
doesn't. It's
Yeah.
just a picture that people like it. It
Yeah.
stimulates that package within yourself and your brain to be receptive to go, oh, well, now I'm liked or whatever. People enjoy.
Yeah.
Nah, it's crap.
So
And it's hard because on that flip side too, like doing what you do
Mm.
with the free content, with the rich raw content,
Yep.
you kind of want those likes, you want those shares
It's a
to
gauge.
get your media out,
It's
but
a
yet
ga-
you don't
yeah,
want to
but
let
it's a
that change
gauge.
you.
It's a gauge. So what
Yeah.
you do, if I have a really good run, like I did a video, I had a can last week in the car, just sitting in the driveway at home, and I had a drink and I spoke about something. I can't remember what it was, but it got shared, it got liked, and it got explored. And I'm like, to me, I'm like, right, what I've served there of an essence of value, it resonated with people. It had transparency. So I look at the number effect of, is my content getting transparent? Not like, oh, fuck you, I've just had 100 people like my shit.
Yes.
I'm the man. That doesn't mean anything. I
it's
gauge
getting
it.
that message out.
Yeah, I
It's
gauge,
about whatever
I gauge on
message
Who's
you're
service
getting out,
value.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
It's not like from now on you're going to do every video of you sitting in your driveway with a fucking can.
I
Do you
do
know
it
what I mean?
anywhere.
Like, I'm comfortable there.
I do it anywhere. If I'm in the shed working on a bike and I'm like, I've just thought of something, I'll record it there and then.
Most of the ones I've seen, you're in the shed.
yeah,
I've seen a few in your
tinkering.
car.
just smashing them
Yeah.
gains.
And I
Just
know it's a bit of a
settle down.
side thing, but it makes me laugh
What's that?
when you're at Nico's.
Oh fuck!
They're the best videos.
You don't know
ever.
These two guys.
I have to get
won't
these
know.
guys on. That is absolute fucking hilarious.
See, this is where my mechanical.
Is that
Passion.
Nico's auto elect?
No.
No.
This
Who's
is
that?
Oh, you just gave someone a plug for absolutely no
And
reason.
well, okay,
No,
let me
no,
take.
no,
Hold on,
but-
let me take that back
Is it your
because
uncle?
they're useless.
from
Yeah.
Kai. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Now,
so
now we're going to get sued.
Nico's.
No, no, no.
Auto
no,
no.
you
electing
can't say
time.
that.
It's
You
over,
can't
over
say
in
that.
Kai.
No, well, I'm
can't-
saying different one.
No, you can't talk about.
I can do whatever I want.
No.
I thought we discussed this.
All
Once
right,
you
so
pay the rates,
I reckon you
and
sushi
then
wrestle again.
you dictate what I
No,
can
this-
say.
I'm,
this
go-
is-
I'm
this
going to
is
have
like
to
Chris-
choke him out again.
Chris's family. Chris's family. You've got a Harley.
Yeah, Harley
well,
shopping
just bike,
Kai.
isn't it? It's just a bike mechanics over,
Yeah,
over in.
It's my mum's brother,
Kai.
and he's Albanian. He's loud, obnoxious.
Albanian.
He's
Hey, Loche.
Nah, it's not like that.
I'll
It's-
show you guys after. It is hilarious. Chris goes there, provokes him half the time, and just takes some videos of it and stuff. And he just flips. He flips.
Does
He's
he
like,
know that you're
"Oh, man."
videoing or no?
I video him all the time.
Does he
so-
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he
puts it
does
on
now.
his, on his so Nico's has got his own Instagram.
Instagram, yeah, I made it for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris films it, puts it up on Instagram. It is hilarious.
Yep.
Just
So
flipping.
So it's Nico's Customs, and a few people that are on here watching this will know who he is.
Yeah,
but
I have heard about it.
it's my mum's brother, and he's just short fused, and he swears
Hilarious.
beyond too much. But he's an old school biker. He's been around Harleys forever. He's got long hair. He's like does his thing. Big
Loves it.
nose. Loves beer. But yeah, I rock in, and because obviously I know how to stir him up. You know, with-
Hilarious.
man. Yeah, when he's soldering is the best days because he usually solders and then pulls the wire apart and it breaks. And I'm like, man, you don't do it like that. Shut the fuck up. Like, he just goes off.
Oh, it's hilarious.
He's funny, but I'm going to do an interview with him about
Yeah.
his life story
Yeah.
and around Harley Davidson, stuff
Yep.
like that. and that's going to be a really big thing too. But yeah, on another like psychology basis with him, I know how to torture him.
Oh,
And
bad.
get him going,
bad,
and
yeah.
You know,
the
the
film
It is hilarious. I'll show you guys after.
everyone loves it.
It's going.
So going back to the whole social media thing,
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Oh, please do.
Mr. Dutton, I have a question for you.
Go.
All right, so
You sound so cute doing that.
He did.
my Brazilian,
did.
Mr.
Yeah.
Dutton,
You
I
sound
have
like
a,
you should be cleaning a pool that I don't.
I have a
Yeah,
question
little
for
boy.
you. All right, so let's just take United States for example.
Fuck. Don't talk about Trump with me.
No, no Trump talk, no Trump talk. Look, suicide rates
High.
are highest at the moment than they've ever been since World War II.
Yep.
Right? How much can you blame, or like, how much can you put on social media for that? And why do you think suicide rates are so high in like the Western society that we're living in, which is like, I know it's easy to say we've had it better, we've got it better now than we ever have.
Mm.
But why is it so high now compared to back then?
This is triggering me for a point when I went to the United States in 2013, and I took a train from, where the fuck was I? I can't remember. Anyway, I had to get on this train for like 4 hours or 6 hours or something. It was a fair hike. And the amount of homeless people that I could see
Yeah.
next to the train line and shit like that was it was next level. I've never seen stuff like that here in Australia. I think the thing is with people as such, like thinking of suicide, they don't essentially have mentality freedom, not understanding, being pushed around, not being able to get ahead. Whether it is coming because their income standard is quite low, maybe hourly rate. I'm not sure, but the thing is with suicide as such, it's not been able to seek the help, like hitting a point in life where you don't know how to get help or where to go
Yeah.
to, or the money's not available. And that every day stemmed into more darkness because you're not shifting your capabilities mentally into a better performance field.
Mhm.
So just not having that access.
I think it's just everywhere.
Yep.
The States, look, probably bigger numbers and stuff like that, but I just think that's what it is. The access available now without, trying to pay for a service is hard.
Their mental health system over there is pretty bad.
That's probably a difference as
really
well.
is.
I haven't really looked into the stats and that about America as such and whatever, but I know here in Australia, like people they don't have a resource to go to. When I broke my back, I had to study my back. No one was going to tell me what I needed in a period of a week. I had to really get stuck into it. And that's what people need to do is realize, hey, listen, I do have an issue within myself. I need to start performing for myself by getting some knowledge because knowledge gives you power. It shifts your mentality. And that's what people need to realize. If you're stuck in detriment, it's time for you to grab onto a book or it's time to start getting into my stuff, whatever.
Yep.
You need to have assistance.
Yeah.
You've served your purpose of reason and being getting the same results because you keep doing the same shit over.
Yeah.
It's time for change.
I love
need
to
to
stir
realise
the
that.
pot, right? And I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to throw some questions at you. Do you think we're softer as a society now than when our parents grew up? Do you think so? Let me reframe that for you. Do you think that so now it's become a good time, like everybody's speaking out about mental health,
You want to
right?
hurry up because I need to have a piss in a minute. Go on.
Well, you can go in a minute.
No,
Okay,
go.
Everybody, everyone's been apart from you.
Yeah.
You're doing well.
Thanks.
Everybody's speaking out now about mental health and mental health awareness, and I think that is really good.
Yep.
I think it's a very positive thing, and it needed to happen a long time ago. I think if you had spoken out about your mental health issues in the 80s and 90s, people at the bar, you fucking pussy, have another drink, mate. You can't.
Yeah.
But I think people like, for example, myself, Tyson Fury, when he spoke about his mental, you obviously know Tyson Fury, when he spoke about his mental health issues, and it made it okay for me.
Yeah.
It made because I'm a big fan of Tyson Fury, and I thought, if it gets Tyson Fury, it can get anyone. And it made me feel like it was okay to have issues and to speak about things and that kind of thing. But do you think that it's almost people are playing on that, where it's they're playing the victim a little bit now? You know what I'm saying?
We've got a lot more
Excuse
different
me, I will go
issues
to the
these
toilet. I
days.
will answer that.
All
But
right,
that
go.
I know exactly where you're
Yes.
at, and I will go
Yeah,
through
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you guys have a chinwag to
You can
yourself.
fucking piss when you want, where you want.
Where, on the,
I own this carpet.
I think
do you know
kind
what
of
I mean?
that.
Like,
yeah, I do. But
we're in a
it's not like-
victimhood.
back in the day, it was a lot different mentality of like nobody even wanted to admit they had
yeah,
mental issues, as well as things like you said before.
I think it was
social
frowned upon.
media,
Definitely frowned upon.
social media,
So
and
it's
that
a
as well.
Shiraz.
Is it a Shiraz? I can't taste it
Well,
anymore.
it's a Shiraz.
He's got to that. Cedar's got to that point.
He's
No,
done.
yeah, I'm okay. I can
But
drink,
it's like
drink it.
we have a lot
I
of
can drink it.
I can
what about
drink
that for
it.
a comment?
I
a
can
lot
drink.
more,
I can handle it. Oh, no, what kind of? All right, what kind of Shiraz?
Monachino.
Oh,
Monachino.
Monachino.
See, whenever I go downstairs, I bring back what I'm actually supposed to bring back.
You bring back what you can afford.
Yeah,
Ryan.
exactly, mate. What do you want, Penfolds?
So
1989?
I
We
want
have a lot more
Grange.
stresses these days, though.
Yeah, I
The
think
thing
back
is
in the
too-
day, it was frowned upon. If you come out and said, "Look, I got all these issues," and
Yeah.
you're looked at almost a bit of a social pariah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But we put ourselves these days in a lot more stressful situations. You look at a lot of our parents, grandparents, right? They lived in humble houses, normal houses.
Going through
Whereas
World War
these
II,
days-
or
Hey?
they were going through wars, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they, even when it come good though, they still lived in humble houses, lived humbly.
Mhm.
They didn't feel like they had to buy the bigger house because old mate next door had it.
Yeah.
Whereas these days, it's like you said before,
Social
with
media.
Social media's
Someone
killed
said
everything,
they're living
man.
in that house.
social
I'm gonna buy that
media
house.
to me can be a very good tool, but I think it's so fucking toxic, man.
Absolutely.
When you look at it as a whole, social
Yeah.
media is a terrible thing.
if you're not in the right mind frame,
Oh my god.
social media will fuck you.
Yep.
Because you
It's-
think
it'll
you need,
just
you
pull
need to
you in.
match it. That's what it's about. You need to
Yeah,
match
yeah,
it, or
yeah.
you need to. I need to be better than this, or I need to get those nails
All right,
done.
he's gonna.
Here we
And
go.
do you know
So
what?
going back to it,
At
I'll
a
just.
piss, he's dropping bombs.
Here we go. He's refreshed. So look,
Thank
we've
God.
got. So do you like victimhood is a massive thing now, and do you think people are playing up on because it's more acceptable now to speak out about your issues, and I fucking if anybody is listening to this podcast now that is having any kind of issues like if you're having anxiety, depression, get help, man. Talk to somebody.
Speak to somebody.
Yeah.
Speak to someone
fuck
because
me.
I myself, if you caught me a year ago, there's no way I would have admitted to any issues.
I've been doing a podcast.
Everybody has issues, man, and we all need to speak to somebody. And I used to feel like myself. I used to feel like, I kind of wasn't like, who am I to speak out and get help on anything?
Yeah.
Because like look at that quad amputee over there. He's got way more issues than me. My issues are insignificant, but
Yeah,
that's,
but
that's a
it's
terrible
not-
way to
but
look at it.
Can't be to you though, because it needs to be about you being your best you.
Everybody like my issues
Chris is
aren't
over there
your
like,
issues.
just give me one go.
He's raring to go. So
I've had
we're
a
gonna,
piss,
we're
ready
gonna
to
go
roll.
back to Chris. Go back to Chris.
we could halve this conversation straight away now.
Fire away.
Go for it.
All right, I've got to try and backpedal to the beginning. But generally, what happens in life, right? People don't want to feel like they're becoming a burden upon someone, expressing what it is. A lot of people will go, I'm just going to throw a couple of things out there. A lot of people don't, they do try and seek attention out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem is with that, as they do it and get let down, they get put further backwards because that initial help's not coming forward.
Yep.
Which is a massive trigger of trauma for some, and that gets quite deep. I've seen that a lot. I think even back in the day when I was suffering, maybe I've done that a little bit myself.
Yeah.
It's trial and error, but when you realise no one's going to grab your hand when you're sinking, you got to swim.
You have to
There's
do it
nothing you
yourself.
can do. No one's going to come
I
forward.
think we're all guilty of that.
100%. It's more of an attention-seeking sort of thing, I guess, at the end of the day, to see who will do
A
something.
bit of a cry out.
But people love it. People
Yeah.
that are in that
Oh,
realm, they
yeah,
love it and they
don't
thrive
they?
on it. It's
Yeah.
bad. It is bad stuff.
That's a bad trait to have though, yeah.
Look,
that's
I think
just-
it's society today is very like look, we celebrate and look, I got to choose my words very carefully here
Mhm.
because I don't want to come across in the wrong way, but I feel like in modern society we celebrate victims. And real victims, yes, we should be celebrating. Real victims, not people that just want to cry wolf just to
The
get
attention,
attention.
just
Yeah.
I want to
game.
take everyone back
Yeah.
3 episodes ago, though. Whenever you reckon that fucking the old chick that Biden was fingering, that was oh
I
no, we
agreed with that.
can't. Yeah,
I
no,
agreed with that.
no. You were like, oh yeah, but we're celebrating victims.
Just a side note, more has come out about that. But we'll touch on that
Exactly.
another one,
We'll
yeah.
touch
No,
on
no,
that
no,
another
but-
time.
But I think today, like you've got all these sports stars coming out now, and that never would have happened 10 years ago.
No way.
No,
No
like
way.
They
Tyson
start-
Fury 20 years ago wasn't
No
coming
way.
out and saying, "Hey, I battled with
But maybe the
wanted to kill
avenues,
myself and all that
maybe
kind
the
of thing.
avenues weren't actually there for them, and now that they,
I think
now
if-
they are.
Something I'll
No,
touch
but-
on something there just before you all
Go for it.
rattle your heads off.
because we're going
So-
to carry on."
Well, the thing is, when it comes to people of a professional substance in life as such, sports people, singers, whatever it is, someone of a higher caliber, you got to understand when you hit your success in the peak of that realm of things that you're in and you're there, like what comes after that?
Yeah.
How much further can you go when you can't?
The only way's down from there. isn't it?
Exactly. So people have had that stimulation so much. Like, say you're a paid sports professional and your opportunity window lasts 5 years, right? And you're at the top of your game,
Or
everything's insane.
Injured or something, yeah.
Yeah, or whatever.
Career's over.
But then it's like other people are coming through and domineering, and you've done the best you can, but you can't go any further.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too far
Just
away.
come a bit closer to your mic.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry,
You got
sweetie.
that silky.
I'm
You got
not-
that silky, beautiful voice.
I'm not
Let
down
everyone
with this.
hear it.
I'm not down with having these funky objects.
You can move it. You can
No,
move
it's
it.
all right.
Put
But
it, in your,
that's-
put it in your mouth. Dare
You
you?
will. You will. That's the after show.
Is that what Taggart said to you?
Tiger said, put it in your mouth and see if you can,
We're
see if you
putting
can
the
speak
spa.
into it.
All right, come on.
Unbelievable.
Enough of that, right?
Unbelievable.
No, but I totally agree with you there. And
Yeah.
for anybody listening that wants to, anybody listening that wants to reach out to you, for example,
Absolutely.
Which they
where
should.
where
for
can
sure.
they? Yeah, because I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah.
Where can they contact you?
Facebook, Instagram, email, chris@powerupcoaching.com.au.
Yep.
I think the thing is, if anyone's seeking any sort of help in a performance level to obviously shift the way you are feeling, it's not hard to jump on a call, spend 10 minutes having a yarn or whatever, and just having a chat. Just build that initial rapport. Don't think that at the end of the day, what you've got going on is going to freak me out because I've
Yep.
dealt with
You've,
some
you've,
sure.
you've heard it, seen it all before, man.
just
It's
think
not
too,
like you're
and
the first one.
But the biggest thing is with what I do, it's not about placing a label upon them as an identity. Oh, you've done such and such. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with
Yeah,
that.
it's
come
the
on,
thing too.
it's-
You
it's
can
not
reach out
that.
to Chris,
Mm.
and you're gonna hear it raw. You're not gonna get the pretty.
You're not
going
going
to
to get a clinical.
You're
yeah.
not going to get the clinical.
But you're still
Um,
getting the best treatment that you can actually get.
Absolutely. You're going to get it raw. You're going to get it honest.
Because
You're
I
not
don't
going
know-
to get, all right, take 3 of these pills.
Yeah.
No, that's
Come
right.
back and
though.
see
He's
me
gonna
in 2
He's going
weeks
to tell
and-
you honestly about what we can do
Mm.
to build a better future. How can we build this up
How do
to
you
move
look at
forward?
how do you look at yourself tomorrow, not how you looked
Yeah.
at yourself today or yesterday?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I
And
never,
that's-
I never place judgment upon people because even I've had that happen in my life so many times, and it'll probably ever happen to the day I die. But I never take that identity upon because I know who I am. I know what my substance is. I know what my core value is and why I'm here. Like if I asked you boys, what's your purpose in life? Can you answer that?
I kind of can now.
Oh, that's not good enough. Come on, boys. What do you got?
I can now, but I wouldn't have been able to before my son was born.
Tell me. So, what's your purpose?
All right, so now breaking it all down, and I've gone through a bit of a revolution for myself, and I really feel now that my purpose in life is to raise my son or my children if I have more, and to be the best role model that I can be for them, and to help them flourish in life.
And improve.
And it never would have been that before I had a kid.
But the
I'll
thing
tell
is
you
too,
now.
and improve of like what you've learnt, what you've experienced, to improve on that.
Yep.
But you almost can't expect that from them because
Oh.
they have to make their own mistakes.
No, they do.
I don't
but
have kids, so I actually can't even comment on this.
I
But I'm
kinda
saying,
want-
like,
Not
they
that,
need
not
to.
that you know of.
I kind of want them.
Yeah, I fucking tried, man.
I
Trust
kind
me.
of want them to make their own mistakes, though. I don't expect them to be clinical. I don't expect them to abide by my rules. I want them to make their own mistakes. I want them to learn. That's
They
the,
have
that's the
to.
way you learn. You learn
But I
by
feel-
making mistakes. You learn by making life decisions.
I watch my son grow now, and he's at the point where he's running around. And he's like, "Daddy," and he's saying all these words, and he's saying the alphabet, and he's counting.
Cutest
and
boy.
It's unbelievable,
Cutest
right?
boy.
And before I had my son, I was extremely selfish. I was all about myself. I was, I didn't know what I wanted out of life. And people always said, oh, wait till you have kids. And they say things like that to you and you're like, yeah, whatever. But until you have kids and you see these little humans, these little molds that you've created, and everything you do affects them in life.
Yep.
Right? Like everything you do will somehow shape them. I feel like that is my purpose now is my family. The reason why I work and I bust my ass, Matt will
Your
disagree.
family.
Yeah, he
I-
busts out sometimes if he's working on the podcast.
The reason why I
Is the
bust
coffee
my
machine on?
ass and I'm thriving in like I'm trying my best to make as much money as I can, to do the best I can. It's for him. It's for my son Leo and any future kids we have. I feel like that is the purpose in life is to be.
I feel like if they could be a better person than I am now,
Yeah, you'd be happy.
that I would be happy.
But even
Or-
to take
or
that
the
back,
same,
so I don't have kids, right? I come out here 11 and a half years ago, nearly 12 years. I come out here to better myself. So you need to better yourself before you better someone else.
Absolutely.
In my
Absolutely.
mind.
No, absolutely.
So I come out to Australia in fucking 2008. 2009, started 2009. I come out here to better myself. But then again, back to exactly what you're saying, Jimmy. I come out here because I didn't want my family being brought up within the hard times, which were back home.
Yep.
At all. So, yeah. When saying that it's about family, yes, it is in the long term, but it's about bettering yourself before you can better anyone else.
What do you think? What is your purpose
This is
in life, Chris?
your idea. He's probably
Let's
looking,
get it,
going,
yeah.
"Fuck's
He's
sake,
like,
boys.
these fuckers
Come
have
on.
no idea.
So once this podcast finished, I'm going to school you.
No,
all.
tell us.
I
What
was
do you
gonna say,
think?
I was looking around for the bed to have a nap. Fuck me. So,
You bunch of pussies.
oh God.
What is it?
So, well, we'll speak about me. So my purpose in life is to be a light worker, right? That's me. That's why I'm here. Reason of being is to walk through this life and to share everything that I've known, witnessed, experienced. My passion is my energy is to pass it on to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a son. He's 14, right? Fucking great kid. Is my purpose to be the best at ever?
How old
yeah.
are you?
How old
30
are you?
What?
28. 38. No,
38.
You're 38.
38.
Okay.
38.
So how
Yeah.
old were you when your son was born? I'm terrible at math.
24.
24.
Yep.
Mm.
24
Okay.
and 14.
I thought you were younger than that. I was going to say,
24.
geez,
No.
Chris started early.
Nah, I was going to say
So,
he's
so being
24 and he's been plus GST.
what the fuck? Who the fuck is
I'm
that
only
guy?
joking.
He loves his plus juice.
I can send this prick home. I think your visa's ran out, hasn't it? Jesus. But even for me, like from my complete terminology of who I am, being a father is a piece of that substance,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
So when people say, you know what, I'm here to be the best parent, blah blah blah, I can go, yeah, but there is more to you than just that.
Yeah.
There is. That is a really good piece of the puzzle, but it's not all of it.
Yeah.
For me, it's exactly that. My goal or my reason of being is to pass the momentum into others to have a more sustainable life. And a big part of that is confidence. A big part of that is raising vibration, within the person to have more empowered energy and believing in themselves. And that is a reason why I'm here. It took me years to work it out because, like I said, I had to kick all the mud off in life to go, fuck, why am I here? It's exactly that. Man, I help people every day, whether it is on social media, someone rings, but every time someone talks to me, I listen, right? And I take the emotion out of the person and go, fuck, and I'll bring something back of power that they never had. And they're like, fuck. They get off the conversation knowing they've got more value.
Change it instantly.
I'm too receptive to it.
Yeah,
But
that's
the thing,
awesome.
Though,
That's
it's
so
exactly like I
good,
said
though.
before,
Straight
though,
up.
like if anyone's listening, like hit Chris up.
'Cause
People-
he's not
seriously,
like-
there better be people listening.
You
I'll
know-
tell you,
you
what,
know
I
the-
want-
No, but
And
seriously,
now we've got
though, hit
listeners.
us, like,
Do you know the way
it's exactly
most
like that? It's not clinical. It's not.
No.
It's no bullshit.
No, definitely not. Most life coaches are like, do you get annoyed with life coaches? Like whenever you see like,
don't even.
I used to
don't
be
even go there
I
with
used to be
you.
a soccer player. Now I'm a life coach, and it's like, go fuck yourself, real quick.
No,
Can ya?
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause
know.
I think you have to. It's like it's a super like I said earlier on. I think it's very important if you're going to get counselled by somebody or
They have to have
they
felt
have to have
pain. They
got
have
a bit
to
of
have
life
felt
experience,
something.
man. They haven't just gone and studied at university and they've got
definitely
no
not,
life
man.
skills.
They have to have felt
Yep.
something along the line to be able to like that relatable aspect of it
Yeah.
is Like, that's what gets me. That's what grabs me from you. Truthfully, that's what it is. I can relate to you so much because I can feel the pain that you're projecting.
It's not because of his good
Constantly.
looks.
Well, he's handsome.
And he's built like a refrigerator.
And he looks like a fucking Kelvinator 900. But
Is that a dual swing door or is that bloody just a single?
that's one of
double
those
door, double
fuckers.
door.
Work it out.
You can put this
Double
under
door,
and it
right? Hey,
releases
it's got
the ice.
ice maker, everything. You're the ice maker. You've got
Oh,
an ice
right.
maker.
Shooting
You're like
cubes out.
you're like above what I can afford.
What were we talking about again apart from that shit?
The purpose of life.
Suppose you want me on Afterpay too, huh?
Purpose of life.
So initially, I do ask a lot of people, what's your reason of being, why you're here? People are like, I don't know. They're just so subsided of what their burning fire desire is,
Yeah.
and that's my goal to bring it out. So I always tell people to write stuff down. Get things out of your mind. Putting pen to paper is a massive piece of therapy. We
So
all should do
journals,
anyway.
journals are a good thing.
Just
to
writing
do.
out shit.
I don't-
I seen on one of your videos, man, and I only started it. I reckon your video might have been last week, was it? With
Oh.
writing shit down.
Maybe, yeah.
And it was, and since
keep
then,
up.
I've been writing shit down, like
Yep.
things that annoy me.
Mm.
So I get annoyed. You might tell I get annoyed so easy.
So
Yeah.
how much?
So
how
easy.
much does he owe you already?
No. We're
Couple
good.
of hundred.
Oh, easy like a G.
I've already had
Couple
200
of
mils of that
hundred.
wine. But no, writing things down. So what it does, it takes messages out of your mind. We go through 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So the goal is to extract information out of your mind. Yeah, I'll have another wine.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And the thing is, when you extract, it allows new pathways of information to come through when you're
Yep.
receptive to do so. So if you're going to be doing study, it's always good to write and jot things down because your mind might not pick up on it as much, but when you've got it in front of you, you can always reflect back. I'm always reverse engineering. I'm big with numbers. I do it with everything. I can't help it.
Yep.
So I see massive value in that because you're seeing things of what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You can reflect back and then you can improve on whatever,
Yep.
come back with better material, and then you strengthen your brain. You become more powerful within yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Huge.
So
We had any
that's-
questions? We got, what is that it?
Nah.
Oh, come on,
No,
guys. What
calm
we
down.
got? What
Wait,
we got?
we had a 2-second lapse and you were ready to give up.
Oh,
Come
I'm
on,
ready to
mate.
rock and roll.
Come
What
on.
else?
We're just getting more wine.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Nah, we're just getting you some more wine, mate.
That'll do.
Calm down.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll be anyone soon.
But if anyone has questions for
Yeah, what do
if
we
anyone
got?
has questions for Chris,
Yeah.
Yeah,
type
hit
them
us
in the
up.
comments and we can read them out.
And if
sure.
not, if it's one of those things that you just want to chat about, hit him up.
Yeah,
Seriously.
definitely.
Whether you're somebody viewing that knows us.
Yep.
Like Chris ain't gonna come back and be like, "Hey, guess who messaged me after the show?"
Nah.
Hit him up.
Yeah, no.
No, do you know what I mean?
And
a
he
lot
can
of people
do
get a
he
bit
can do Skype calls because we've got a lot of UK viewers as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
he can do things over and it can do
Yeah,
things
this
over
isn't just
Facebook.
this just isn't local.
No,
I think I
Definitely,
feel
man.
like this is a pretty important thing to talk about because look, we all have issues in life, like we've talked about. I think everybody could do with a counselor. Everybody could do with
I've had a
talking to
couple. Man.
somebody.
I've had
Yeah,
a
man.
couple, and
Yep.
my first one I didn't like. I was on Beyond Blue. Beyond Blue is awesome. I love it because it's, you can go online, you can be anonymous. I like that. I went to my first ever counselor. Hated it. Hated every minute of it. It just wasn't for me. It was a
Yep.
middle-aged woman. I'm being generous. She wasn't middle-aged. She was like fucking 60. She's middle-aged lady. I couldn't actually tell her what I wanted to tell her.
Yep.
I've had 2-3 different counselors, and Beyond Blue was my favorite, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
But then once I started watching positive videos, like it's completely different. Because then it's so relatable. Everything that you're saying, I can relate to, and then I take that throughout my day instead of saying like a bored mind's a devil's playground. So especially at the minute, we're all sitting in fucking quarantine, man.
I'm good at skull. Thank you.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like my mind, whenever I'm sitting just with me, it's relentless.
But do
I
you
have-
find? Sorry, real quick. Do you find with those people that you've seen? 'Cause
Mm.
I can relate to this. The people that you have seen are very, like step 1, step 2, step 3. They're all the same.
Yeah, they've
They've all
studied
got the
from a
same- They've all
textbook.
got the same training.
Yep.
I get more from a couple of Chris's videos
Yeah.
than I do from
Me too.
going to see
Yep.
somebody. They're very, very structured. And as bad as it sounds, when you go in, you know what they want to hear.
Yeah.
You can bluff them. Whereas if I sit here and bluff Chris, he'll call
You
me.
got to
up.
have
He'll
you got to
call
have
me
a
up.
connection.
Straight away.
If you're going to talk to somebody about mental health and really personal issues, I think you have to have a connection with
Absolutely.
that person. If somebody's
Absolutely.
just studied a textbook and they're like, "Oh, okay, here," it's not going to translate.
No.
You're
This
not
is
gonna-
our next step.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
bullshit.
For me, like all that shit. I
Have
never
you ever
would've
suffered? Have you ever
Suffled?
Suffered? Have you ever suffered from
I suffer all the time.
mental health?
Oh man.
Go on.
Have you
So-
ever went to any counselors or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
I'm
that?
actually seeing. I'm seeing a counselor right now.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yes. Because look, I think you know, once you got to get over that feeling of not being able to speak out, that ego,
Because most
dropping the ego.
most blokes don't even like.
Like I said,
most
100%.
95% of people would have sat there and went, no, not me.
Yeah, pussy.
Nah, I'm fucking.
a year
I'm
ago,
fine.
a year ago, there was nothing wrong with me, mate.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. But I think self betterment. If you want to,
Jiu-jitsu got to you.
Jiu-jitsu.
That's where it started.
If
Didn't
you want to
win.
be a better person, I really feel like, everybody could
But-
do with a counselor or just
Yeah.
to speak to somebody.
100%.
It's exactly
man.
like we spoke a while ago, eh? I said the exact same thing. I said everyone could deal with speaking with a life coach, counsellor, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Everyone needs to talk to somebody.
Could go and have a vent, get some perspective.
Just write
You know what I
something
mean?
down, like you said.
Like
As
just-
you say, man.
you
see, whenever
said.
you say you write something down, that's the best way. Because once you write it down, it's done.
You got to
It
acknowledge.
should be that's done.
I think if you want to change something about yourself, you really have to acknowledge those issues first. Because
Yeah.
if you don't recognize them, there's no change there ever.
I've been to enough.
People can tell you whatever they want to tell you. You do this too much. You do that too much. It doesn't mean anything.
I've been to enough between like psychiatrists, psychologists, right? I can bluff them.
Mm.
I don't care how trained they are. I can bluff them. I know what they're going to ask.
But you're only lying to yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you don't get nothing from
And
it.
also,
Whereas-
you're paying for it.
Yeah, but whereas goes, I can be at work, get a notification. Hey, Chris has posted a video. He's cruising along in his car.
And
he's
how
sitting
much
at home,
Better
whatever.
does that make you feel
I
for
can
the rest
relate
of
to
the day?
that better. And do you know what? He's telling me, fucking real.
And
I can't bluff him.
it does.
I'm
well,
not sitting there with
I'd be
him
too
bluffing
scared.
him,
I'd be
talking
too
shit.
scared to bluff him.
Oh,
Jesus.
Calvinator.
Have a look at him.
me,
The old
the
Have a look at
Calvinator.
What do you mean?
The Calvinator.
No, Calvinator just fucking everyone up.
Right enough though, like see, seriously, all bullshit aside, whenever I don't know, I can't speak for the other boys. Whenever I see your videos, I feel like I need to do better that day.
Yeah,
In every video that you do, I need to do better. And
Yeah.
it's not even like I feel like I need to. I know I have to.
yeah.
So it's not like it's forced upon me.
Mm.
It's this is what I have to project because you're projecting it on towards me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like I absorb it that way.
There's a message in it, and
There
something
100% is.
I'm just going to fry all of you right now because this is
Oh, boy.
something where you have all. Okay, we've got the conversation at this point. For you to move ahead in life, there is one word that you need to put into your element and your space, and it's called acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you got to think. You've got to accept who you've been to this day.
Yeah.
How old are you again?
I'm 31.
Plus.
Old
I
prick.
don't
So
look
he's
it,
got
but I'm 31.
He's got 31 years of everything that's gone on in your mentality, your exposure, your situation.
Good,
you go,
bad,
you know what, I
otherwise.
accept that. Accept it. The minute I took transition of acceptance in my life,
So even things we've done wrong,
what is right or wrong?
you have to accept everything.
Every lesson that you've had handed to you,
Yep.
Has
whether you've
changed
dealt
you.
with it in the best manner or the worst, you accept it. My grandparents, I lost my grandmother last year, but my grandfather's still going. He's 98, so they're both World War II people. Their saying was, forgive and forget,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to forgive everyone in your life.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, that's
No,
my
that's
bad. I was just
Pepsi, cut that one out.
cheers
Just
into
ignore
that.
it, James.
We'll get into Alcohol Anonymous soon. No, but the thing is, when it comes to forgive and forget,
Yep.
forgive the situations and the people so that you can get on,
Mm.
right? Forget to
Yeah,
get
can't
going.
dwell on things, can you?
You can't, because when you reserve energy of others, like I said with that identity, you will drag that shit through your life.
Yeah.
Relationships, money, earning, workplace, the
Yeah.
way you sleep, the way you eat, everything. You have to
Yeah.
accept.
Yep.
And the minute you can have that word in your life will change. It's paramount for transition,
Mhm.
but good transition. Your future is going to be a lot different. So yeah, that's a little something I want to throw in
Beautiful.
there.
Hey, let's talk about what you're doing next. What the Harley ride? What are you doing?
Oh, right.
Because you wanted to touch on that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So late last year, I was in Perth for 3 months, and I kept pondering on getting my Harley, shipped over from Victoria over to Perth, and I'm like, man, like it's going to cost me $1,300. Is it going to get looked after? Like, I don't know. The thing's a pretty cool bike,
Yep.
and it come to me one day. I'm just like, you know what? Why don't I ride it over for mental health awareness? I'll fly back and ride this thing.
Oh, so this was in Vic when you were living over in Perth.
Yeah, the bike
Yep,
was in
yep.
Vic, yeah. And I'm like, I need it for means of transport. Like, that thing was my freedom. Without having
Yep.
that bike in my life. I'm
Sick
like,
bike as well, man.
nuts. It's a
Fuck
good thing.
it,
I
it's
love
a
it. I'm on it every
cracker.
day. I'm on it every day. And I thought, you know what? I'll do it for mental health awareness. So I'll build some sort of strategy, something behind it to get on this thing and get going. I was going to go in January to get on the bike and head over.
And then
and do
COVID
it.
was like, here, hold my
No,
beer,
no.
would you?
Yeah.
The fires took
Oh,
off.
the fires
right?
first, yeah.
So the Nullarbor itself was shut down because it was on fire. And I'm like, this isn't the time. And a lot of bike riders, enthusiasts that I know said, if you go in January, you will melt to the road.
Yeah.
Like, it was too hot. And for me, with my paralysis, and if the bike broke down, had a flat tire,
You're fucked.
I'd be knackered.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
So
You're
how do you go riding on a bike?
Fast.
How heavy's your bike?
Fast.
How heavy's your bike, you reckon?
Heavy.
Yeah, let's put it in context.
350
Yeah,
odd.
so you can't push that fucker. Jesus, man.
No
Dude,
way.
it's hard
Fuck
work.
me.
With a flat tire, it'd feel like 500.
So you've got
Just real quick, if anyone wants, hit up some comments, hit up some questions, hit us
jump
up
on.
because we'll
Yeah.
start addressing
Yeah,
them
definitely.
soon.
so
And
with
also, let's start sponsoring as well. Because you're starting a GoFundMe.
So initially with the ride as such, a GoFundMe was displayed for last year, and we had people just put in for donations. But sponsoring like now, because see, I was initially January stopped. Then I'm like, I'll go in March. What happened in March? We've all been kicked to the gutter with this
Yeah.
Corona thing,
Yeah.
and I'm like, now's the time to voice it, and I'll start implementing things to build more framework around this up
Yep.
until the time I go, which could be in a couple of months or 3
Yep.
months or whatever. But what I want to do is now obviously have more sponsoring behind it. So if any businesses want to get involved, I will network that business, brand that business the whole way. There'll be TV exposure, there'll be newspaper exposure, there'll be live
Podcast.
feeds as well on
Yeah,
the
we'll get
ride.
you
So
on the podcast, yeah.
yeah, so I'll do initially GoPros off the bike. There's a guy that runs a Nullarbor and does droning. I hit him up.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah,
man, the minute you
nice,
cross the
man.
border,
that's cool.
he goes, I'll run the drone. So there's going to be a lot of exposure around it. Mental health to me is everything, right? Our mental value is the most powerful thing in all this universe. The way we think, feel, what we do, what we do to take action. And I'm massive around it. That's the thing,
Mhm.
And I know a lot of guys that are around the motorcycle industry, the car events as well.
Yeah.
A lot of suicide, a lot of depression. Harleys are our escape. They're the go-to for freedom. Stuff like that. So yeah, that trip is going to be 3,500 Ks over 10 days. My back, I've still got bulging discs S1, L5. So sitting down for long periods of time with weaker legs than normal.
That's what I was going to
Hell yeah.
ask.
Fatigue kicks in, yeah.
How much? So you're in chronic pain all the time.
So more or less, I've got neuropathic pathway pain, which is more my right leg, my foot predominantly more.
Yep.
But sitting down, these discs do their thing in my lower lumbar, and it can get me bedridden pretty much.
Right.
But I'm pretty active, and especially now with this coronavirus, I'm not hitting the gym and stuff like that, so I'm not seeing as much physical activity.
Once you
Pardon
start
me,
that
so-
shit back up, though, you're gonna
Well,
feel it.
if I'm sitting down, right, because I've got airbags on the back of my bike, so I can adjust initially where my travel height needs to be. I'm ex-motorcycle mechanic and dirt bike. Suspension was always a big thing with me, so I'm like, I know where I need to be. But if you hit that pothole
Yeah,
and
it's
that thing
gonna
bottoms
rock
out,
up.
my whole back gets compressed, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty full on. And 400 Ks in a day. The first day I'll probably clean up pretty well, but then the fatigue
You're
of that
gonna feel
day,
it all.
all
Gotta
overlaps. Yeah,
follow on, yeah.
So
straight up.
how long's the whole trip going to take?
10 days.
10 days.
So that's 400 Ks a day.
Yeah.
But it just depends. The goal is to get a sponsored Brits or a Polo van, like a camper van.
Yep.
I'm going to have a driver. There's going to be film crew. Like this is legit. It's going to
Yeah.
get publicised
gonna be
to the
cool.
best of my potential.
So how can people support this if they want to?
So basically, the GoFundMe is still operative. I haven't got it out on social media at the moment because obviously with these dilemmas, I'm like, there's no point really having it
Yeah.
there until I have more gauging on when I'm
Yeah.
going to go. That's a huge one. They can hit me up personally through social media to have a chat whether
Yep.
they are a business. I'm putting whatever businesses in. I believe in supporting small business to every degree. So anyone that would be local,
Yep.
Kyram, Shepparton, whatever, if they want to get involved, that'll all come through, and it's all broadcasted.
So they can sponsor your ride.
Yep.
We'll sponsor you for sure, like Monachino Cafe and Wine Bar.
You're gonna
definitely.
give me a couple
Oh
of bottles
boy.
of wine.
Okay,
and-
nah, yeah.
No, seriously,
That's cool.
We'll sponsor
Yeah.
you for sure.
I appreciate it.
No
There's
bullshit
one-
aside.
there's
Between
one sponsor.
Monachino and
I mean,
and me and James,
We
at
might be
Trojan
able
Flooring.
to Trojan Flooring as
definitely.
well. Yeah,
Definitely.
we'll
if
definitely.
we get enough,
Definitely,
if we get enough people together, we can
We'll put
maybe
some,
fucking
yep.
fund.
We might even have
Maybe fund the fucking
maybe we could have a night.
Winnebago to bring you to.
Maybe we could have
to
a
follow
fundraiser
you.
night.
We'll work something out.
We'll work something out.
The thing is with the van and stuff, I'd hit those guys direct and get sponsorship out and go, look, this is what's going on.
Mhm.
It'll promote your brand. Mental health awareness, how I don't know how you beat that. What else is it? It's more detrimental.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it is going to be a really good thing. It's going to be hard work. I know that.
Definitely.
But in my mind, I'm like, just get the fuck on with it. My body's going to be like, you're a dickhead for doing
That's
it.
all you've been.
But that's it.
all. That's what you're full noise all the time.
This can't be harder than learning how to walk, I'm telling you.
I have
Oh,
no
yeah.
doubt, man.
Yep.
So-
I feel like you've got almost a superpower.
Yeah,
In a way.
Me too. Me too.
You've broken your back. You've learned
And
to
he's
walk
like,
again.
"Do you
You've
know what?
beaten
I'm
all the
fine."
odds, and now everyday life looks like I've
piss
faced
easy.
worse, man.
Mm.
Is that how you kind of look at it?
even
in a
whenever
way?
even whenever you broke your back though, like to me that's unbenign. Like I can't even fathom
Mm.
your mental state during that. Whenever you were like I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but to me I wouldn't be able to do that.
The thing, so what this is that I've been damaged as such in a physical aspect of things. That doesn't stop your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind is the controlling substance of your body.
Yep.
So regardless, it doesn't matter. Like I've got a couple of niggles and I might not be able to jog, run, kickbox, do
Yep.
all the things I used to do.
I love how you call
Jiu-jitsu.
I love how you call it a niggle.
A niggle.
Well, that's
I
what it is.
know.
It's like it's just a small.
It's so minute too.
I
You're
call,
throwing
I
me
call
off.
it.
Yeah, man, you're fucking
The other day when me and you were mucking around and I pulled a bit of a tendon in my foot, I call that a niggle.
Mate, I haven't
This
been
guy
able to,
calls his snapped spine a niggle.
I haven't
Oh,
been able
no.
to cough for 4 days. And I was like, I've got a little niggle in my chest. Know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
man, you're fucking smashing it.
I don't know. It's that's
No,
how I.
you're
That's
very
how I see it.
motivating. You're very motivating.
Yeah, but it's just a physical aspect that has been slowed down initially. Why do I need that to be something
That's
that's,
so
going to
true.
next?
Is that going to define you? No.
No, what's the point?
Well,
Because
this
my,
is just your meat
my-
sack. This
my-
is your meat sack.
yeah, I'm just the
that's bringing-
refrigerator, you know.
Yeah.
You're fucking
I'm the deep
big
freezer
fridge.
that has that cut up bloody herd in it. But that's to me, that's what it is. My mentality will continue to fire regardless of what my physical, perception of things are right now.
Yep.
So the ride to me is nothing in mind in physical aspects. Yeah, it's going to be torturing, but my mind's going to be going, well, the pain only lasts so long. These
yeah.
things are going to change.
Yeah.
It's temporary measure. Big
Yep.
fucking deal.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
So
yeah.
if you'd like to sponsor Chris's ride, hit him
Absolutely.
up at powerup.coaching,
Instagram.
Instagram. That's his Instagram. Email.
And he's going to be starting the GoFundMe.
The GoFundMe.
back up.
Started,
yeah,
yeah,
I'll,
on.
It's back up.
I'll bring that back out.
Bring
yeah,
it
I
back
have,
out, and we'll share it. We'll get it shared on our page.
for sure.
I'm
We're
gonna get
also
behind
gonna
him.
do a follow up episode once everything's sorted,
Absolutely.
Once he's
yeah.
ready to roll.
Yep.
and hopefully we
Yep.
can keep track. So I want to keep track with while he's progressing along
Yeah, we might do
on
some
his
lives.
on his
I
thing.
think. We
on
might,
his
might
trip.
try to do some live feeds with him.
On
At
the
the end of
journey.
each ride or something like
Yeah,
that, we could have a
absolutely.
bit of a live.
400 k's a day, man. I'd love to see you just whenever you're about to take that fucking skull of a schooner. Because over there they only have schooners. They only have schooners,
I
man.
don't
That's it.
usually drink.
You don't indulge in that.
All right. Do you want
I
to take a
did-
few questions?
Yes,
Yeah, do it.
we've
All
got
right.
some questions
We've got,
that have come through for you. So we've got so Brad Clark. You know Brad? Yeah, I think we all know Brad. He said, "Hey Dawes, can you advise of some tactics, tools used to break your train of negative thought in the moment?"
Yeah, good one. So I work off a common effect called garbage in, garbage out. Now, the thing is of neglecting your mind, it's been stimulated due to such environments and exposures. So it's not always necessarily yourself, it's others that have inflicted such negligence to yourself. And if you start stewing on it, you're going to start telling yourself your own lies. You're going to start putting yourself in a bit of a deep matter when it comes to this. This is where I identify whether things are going to serve me or not. And I always tell people, if it doesn't serve you, don't serve it. If that feeling in retrograde or retrospect as such with yourself doesn't serve you, why does it need to be placed in your mind? This is where we need to take a shift. This is where you need to implement more reward, because when you're burning good chemicals, you're feeling better and you're more enlightened with life. You stop thinking about these things and neglect as much. Yes, they'll always be there. I think with trauma patterns or triggers in life as such, but we start to domineer the effects or the accountability of feeling better because of reward. And that's a big part of it. So I'd say to Clarky right now, what are things that you aren't doing that you used to do that you love and you haven't been around it because it's not making you feel good? Then it's going to allow these things to stem back and realize the word acceptance. Whatever it is, have gratitude to let it go and forgive yourself. You need to. Forgive the situation so you can get on. That's something I do a lot. And don't ever be scared to meditate. Don't ever be scared to put on good frequency music when you sleep, because we do take that on board when we're asleep.
Are you massive into like spirituality as well?
Spirituality.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, me too, man.
It's funny because I was like flat out, meditating, things like that, and I noticed that shift.
Yep.
Into it.
Because it's energy.
But over the last while, I've fallen back out of it, and I've noticed that negative shift.
Man, I've been getting into
lot
like
with
Neil
it,
deGrasse
a lot.
Tyson and things
Time
like
to look
that, where it's
yourself up.
the universe, and whenever you realize how minute you actually are in the scheme of things,
That comes
Yeah.
into ego as well.
and it's exactly 100%.
Definitely.
Whenever I go to bed every night with Audible, and I sit and I lie and go to sleep to it.
You should be
Once you-
reading Audible.
No, I would rather listen to it, because then
See-
I can, as you say before, like we paint a picture with our minds. It paints a picture like I read like a fucking horse chewing on fucking some silage. Know what I mean?
On
So
the salt,
heaps.
on the
Like,
salt lick.
Heaps.
I do. Like I get into it in a big way.
All right, we've got another question here from Kieran.
I hope that worked, Brad.
No, that's that. Yeah,
That's something
that's
he
good.
can follow
Definitely
me up
answer
on.
that.
Yeah, but I
inbox,
say same thing. Yeah,
because
hit
I've
Chris
got
up.
heaps of stuff
Yep.
to talk about that.
We
Yeah.
got
I think
one
I
from
feel like
Kieran.
you answered that well.
We've got one from Kieran. Hey, Chris. I've been taking things day by day lately. I feel like every day is Groundhog Day with my job and my daily routines. Any advice as what I can change to maybe have a more positive outlook?
Yep. Okay, that's easy too. Oh, sorry, I can say it's easy, but so the thing is with this, day by day isn't a bad thing, because the thing is every day we have different transitions. Okay, we have different emotions, different exposures, stuff like that. So the thing is, what I would say, keep going day by day. But each day that's going, we need to put something of new activity, something of new elevation in our mindset, whether it is just getting on YouTube or trying to study something that takes that paramount shift within ourselves. With the job and that, a lot of people do see the job as just a money income
Yep.
potential. It's not exposing things of such
Mindset.
of, your passion.
Yeah.
Are you really getting out of what you're putting in as such? I talk about investments with clients or anyone. What are you putting into something you're getting back of the same, if not greater?
Yep.
If not, it doesn't really serve you. So why serve it?
Yep.
Now, people can say, you know what, it's hard getting another job and this and that. Seriously, it's not that fucking hard. Put yourself out there. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want change? If you wake up and do the same shit every day, expect the same result. That's how it works. That's just mentality. That's life, right? But you need to raise your vibration, and that means you need to gauge something of better to become better, right? And do it for 30 days. So 30 days, if you picked up a book and read an hour every day, your life's going to change in 30 days because you've implemented.
Yeah.
But right now, because you're not and you're stuck, you're bashing your head against the wall because you're doing the same shit to get the same result. It's time to change, and that's what it is. Day by day, nothing wrong with that. I even do that. Why look 6 months down the track? My life's going to change a lot in 6 months. Like I do day by day, because when something comes in a value of opportunity, I'm open-minded and I'm receptive, and I will fucking smash that thing
Yeah.
big time to get to the next
Yeah.
stage.
Is it serving you now?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you're on a platform. You need to raise the bar. Only way to do it is to gain knowledge or start putting yourself out there to ask people questions. Put yourself out there for a new job. Start putting it out. If you don't put it out to the universe, how the fuck does it expect it
Yep.
to come back and give you something when you're not asking
And
for
it comes back to a lot. I've noticed your mindset too.
Straight up.
Is with the secret.
Yeah.
Is exactly that.
Thoughts
A
become
lot of what you
things.
talked about tonight is exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If I get stuck, right? If I get a little bit of anxious, like I don't really say I get anxious, but when I feel myself feel a bit of a blockage, I'm like, fuck, there's something I should be doing that's better.
Yep.
What is it? Oh, I haven't trained today. Fuck, get back into it. Whatever it is. There's always reasoning within yourself to move
Yep.
and improve. There is.
It's up to you to almost do that, isn't it?
Well, instead of having
it is.
Because
Power
you're not
of
going to do
yourself.
it. You can't do it for me.
It's power
Do you
of
know what I mean?
yourself.
Yeah.
He can give you tools,
Yep.
but unless you're willing to use those
Implement
tools-
it. Once you implement it, it's
Yeah.
up to you
So
to.
the thing is that you got to
regain that.
realize in life, even for me, I can lead the horse to water. I can't make it drink the water.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
right.
show people the ways of the framework to do something. I can't make you do it,
Yeah.
Yep.
but I know you will because you want to change,
Yeah.
and that's what it
You're
is. Yeah.
thirsty.
I'm
Hey?
thirsty.
They're thirsty.
I'm so thirsty.
Who's thirsty?
I'm so thirsty.
Well, everybody is.
I'm still sipping, mate. It's-
So
right.
we've got Levi Gordon.
oh yeah, go legend.
Oh yeah, go. He says, "Have you done any progress on the bike you got yesterday?"
What bike you get?
What is
So
that?
compulsive buy. If I don't have a dirt bike in the shed, something's wrong. So I end up getting, I think it was yesterday, it must have been. I end up getting a 2009 Honda CRF 450, and it's probably done, I don't even know how many hours. Didn't have a hour meter on it, but anyway, I looked at it. I got it at a good price. The minute I got it home, so yeah, Levi, I've got the rocker cover off. I've done the shim change on it for the valve clearances. And then I dropped a small part down in the bottom end of the motor, down the cavity where the cam chain goes. And I haven't got a bloody magnet at home. So yeah, I'll be back onto that tomorrow. But yet again, right, and this is what I'm saying to people: you need to have things where you can put your value.
Yep.
Yeah.
A motorcycle to me is my time.
That could. I was going to say that could have been anything, man.
but
It could have been you painting.
yeah, for your mental health.
Exactly. It could have been anything, man.
Yep.
Like
It's what fires you on a cognitive basis, and bikes are one.
Yeah,
for
so,
you.
So how positive? How important is a hobby to somebody?
Fucking dude.
that's their life. huh?
Massive, yeah.
That's their
Huge.
life. It has to be.
Where is your outlet? Where is your outlet? If you're congested, confined, restricted, where's your outlet? That's the thing. What is your escape
What gets you?
right now?
What gets you going?
Straight up. Even if you're at home and you're not going anywhere, there's shit you could
Yep.
be doing. You could
Yeah.
be studying. You could
Gardening.
be-
You could be gardening.
Exactly,
Everyone's
whatever.
thinking of gardening. at the
Actually,
minute, man.
On that note, I need my Harley serviced, and I need my dirt bike serviced.
only work for myself.
That's not coming out of the business account, is it, man?
It is
Maybe.
Monochino business account.
And this is the problem being the mechanic is that every mate's like, oh man, my fork seals blew out on
Yeah.
the weekend. I'm like, oh, but that's no good, is it?
Uh,
Bang, it's in my shed.
So-
Yeah, but we need Harley done before we go on the
So,
ride.
hobbies are extremely important.
You got to understand.
Something that you love to do.
Well, even though I got smashed in the ground by a motorcycle, and it hasn't changed my passion. I've jumped a dirt
You
bike
love it.
since I've broken
Yep.
me back. I've done quite a few stupid things on a bike.
Yep.
But at the same time, that's my drive. What is your drive? If it's doing stuff with your kids, and creative, kids have got nothing but imagination. I thrive
It's
on my
unbelievable,
mates'
isn't it?
kids,
yeah.
Yeah,
watching them and what they do, and I'm so
they haven't got limits.
I love it.
They haven't got that not predetermined. What's the word?
They just
Built
go.
up
Well,
barriers.
they just work.
You know what
work,
I mean? They've
work
still got
going all the
such
time.
an open mind.
There's no
They
expectations.
haven't
They
learned
just go
any
for it.
barriers. They haven't learned
Yep.
I can do this, I can't do that.
But
They're just so open minded.
But funny when you go through life now, we're talking about people with limitations and restrictions. When you're a
Yeah,
kid, you don't,
exactly.
because all you
No.
are
Yep.
is a growing entity of
That's right.
yourself, and you'll
Yeah.
expose yourself to every potential until
Yep.
life, society
Yeah,
tries to cut you back.
You
Going,
learn
well, you
those
don't fit there.
behaviours.
We've got to put you back here.
you learn those behaviours. Don't
Oh,
you?
it's
Yeah.
crazy, man. But yeah, I love kids. So yeah, if you can do things with the kids, whether it's drawings, this and that, whatever, we can't really go anywhere, but there's always something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But at home, even self-care, trying to do push-ups if you have to, trying to eat a little bit better.
Yep.
You got to find something of growth and value every day, and that's what I look for. If I haven't done something, I haven't burnt my good chemicals in my brain, I feel it that night.
Yeah.
Then I listen to something, whether it is someone that I look up to in retrospect of gaining
Like the
that knowledge
Trojan
or
horse?
The
whatever.
Trojan out, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the Trojan horse.
Learning
So
it.
he looks up to the Trojan horse if he hasn't done
Trojan
enough
hour.
that day.
.com.au.
You just didn't let that go, eh?
God. You need
Nah,
to get a
that
grip.
that is. Nah, that's awesome, bro.
That's yeah.
and
so
I
If
feel
anyone
like
else got any questions, hit us up.
this has been really good.
Fucking right.
keep
yeah.
going.
Real good. Like I
there
would
any
I
more?
would definitely be, if you're sitting there and you're probably very much like me. So let's go back 3 years ago whenever I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, who can I talk to? Actually, my mom passed away 5 years ago, so let's go back to that. I spoke to no one. Nobody. I
Do you know
drank
why?
like I drank like fuck. I'm gonna tell you, I went off
'Cause you're
alcohol
Irish?
for I went off alcohol for
I'm
a
already
whole
onto
year
this.
and everything, man. I went off everything because I hated me.
Mm.
I thought what I was doing, like I was taking my hurt out on everybody, and I went off alcohol for at least a year, and I was drinking non-alcoholic beers, and then I eventually went to see a psychologist, and she was like, "Yeah, this is the best way. You need to go." Blah blah blah. I hated it.
Non-alcoholic beers.
No, I was on 0.0%.
So I went the opposite way. My father killed himself.
Oh, for
I
the
went-
for the first 6
I
months,
went the
man,
total
I
opposite way.
I was drinking like fuck.
Yeah.
Whenever I was back home, and whenever we were burying my mum, because
Yep.
back home they keep the coffin in the house for up until they're about
Oh,
to
really?
be buried.
Holy shit!
okay.
So
right.
back home they had to freeze my mum because I'm obviously in Australia.
How
So
long
there's a
was that
couple
ago?
years.
Sorry.
Okay. Wait for
5
me to come
years.
home.
Yeah. Okay.
5 years. So my mum passed away 5 years ago, and then I went
Condolences,
back
brother.
home, and she was frozen, and then I took her out a day before that,
Waiting for you to come home.
waiting for me to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
home. So
yep.
if it wasn't, she would have just been fine. Everyone comes around, does her makeup up, and
Yep.
then she leaves. That's
Yep.
fine. But it's all about leaving from the house.
Okay.
So she leaves from the house that she was actually, my granny owned the house before we lived in it.
So that's kind of how it's done.
So she-
you pass away, then come back to your house,
Yeah, exactly. So
and
then,
then leave from your house.
so but the coffin's left in the house with no top on it. And then on the day of the
open.
funeral,
Open casket.
it's open, completely open. So all your neighbors and everyone comes in, they pay respects to
Yeah,
your
right. Yeah.
your deceased, and then the undertakers will come in. They put
Yep.
the top on, hammer down the nails, whatever they have to do.
Yep.
And then you do a walk,
Okay.
and we walk for like a k and a bit maybe, because it's about how many people want to carry the coffin.
Yep. Right.
Whenever that had happened, me and my dad drank slabs of beer, slabs and slabs and slabs of beer
So
for the next 6 to
where
8
do-
months.
Where do they walk them to? To the
No, they walk them to a spot, so they'll walk them for as much as, so if you've got 4 carries,
Yep.
so 4 carries is 6 people.
Yep.
6 people carry a coffin usually. So they'll walk them for as long as that lasts.
yeah.
But there was that many turns, so all my mates were there. They wanted to. It's the final goodbye.
I
so
pay their respects. yeah,
exactly. So
yeah.
all my mates wanted to be there. All my
Yep.
dad's mates wanted to be there. So everyone done a carry, but it was like a K. So
Wow.
everyone wanted to be in on it.
Yep.
For that walk. So we walked it right out to the end of our street completely.
Yep.
Irrelevant. We drank like fuck for weeks, months. I drank for months. And every time someone handed me a problem, I took that on it like it was my problem. I didn't like
That's
it.
the
I fucking
grieving
hated it, man.
side of it, though.
It's a grieving
very
side of it.
vulnerable time.
And
Mm.
what I done was I drank like fuck to cover it all up.
Yep.
And then I knew that I needed to change myself, so I stopped drinking completely to find the better
You.
me. I
Yep.
was so nasty, man. Me looking back at me then, I was disgusting.
Yep.
Even towards my own family, like I wasn't nice. There was no in between. Like it wasn't.
It might seem bad then, but it's made you the person you are today.
Exactly, and I wouldn't change a single thing, man. I
Exactly.
wouldn't.
Like
and,
it's a huge trauma effect in life.
Mm.
Do you guys like Do you understand death and what it's all about?
I
and-
haven't. See, that's the first like main person that I've lost in my life, and my mum.
Yeah, it hits
And I've got
hard.
a younger.
That's
so
a massive
so the-
thing to lose,
the
though.
biggest thing for me was I didn't really care for me too much because I moved out here. I've been out here 11 and a half, 12 years nearly.
Mm.
I didn't care for me. It was my younger brother and sister
Yeah.
and my dad. My mum and dad were together since we were no age. Like they were fucking lovers.
Yep.
Since they were, I think it was 17, 18, something like that. So it was nothing to do with that. It was more about my brother and sister, Lindsay and Charlie. It was, are they okay?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it was for me.
See, I was the same. I lost dad to suicide, and that was the worst part of not. It wasn't a progressive disease where you got to
How old were you, Matt?
34.
No, how old were you when your dad passed?
I was. It was. Probably 10 years ago.
You see,
24, 25.
what killed me was my mum
before I
will
had the
never
kids.
be able to bring my sister up the aisle. She didn't get to see my brother's 18th.
So
shit like that
your
was what
sister's
killed me.
married now?
No, she's not.
Oh, she's not. Yeah, okay.
She's not, but she's never going to be able to bring her up
Yeah.
the
That
aisle.
was the
man.
worst thing at my
Yeah.
wedding, not having dad there.
yeah.
And see,
know?
like me and my dad are best mates, and we talk every day. I send all the shit. See what I send into
Yeah,
our
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my dad
Yep.
Yeah.
all day.
Your dad sounds like a lord.
Oh man, seriously. See if my dad was here, he
Yep.
he would kill it,
He'd be balls
and he'd be
deep.
like, "Don't talk shit. Don't be getting into this sentimental shit."
Yeah.
Because that's how my
'Cause
dad
that
is.
was exactly like you said, though. That was my biggest thing of like, I've got an older brother. He's 4 years older than me. But my biggest thing was
Shout out to Andy.
Andy.
Andy,
My
fucking
biggest
big
thing
Andy.
was-
We all love Andy.
because I, like cut short, I'm the one that went out to his house, found stuff, notified everyone. Like, I was always worried about. I've always been pretty independent.
Yep.
I just do my own thing, and I can deal with stuff pretty well. I'm pretty rational. I cared for him and my mum the most.
Yep.
That was my worry about how were they going to cope with it.
The biggest thing for me was whenever my mum came and left me, and I hugged her and I was like, "I'll
Did
see
she
you
come
soon,
to
Mum."
Australia, right?
She came to
Couple weeks
Australia, and I was
before?
like,
Yeah.
I'll see you soon, Mum. I'll see you." She was only 40, 46, 47. I'll say between 46 and 48. She was young, and she
Yeah.
suffered from a massive heart attack.
That is young. Yep.
Like, that was, you couldn't have thought that. I would never
No,
in my life
you never would have
thought that.
been. You never would have been prepared for that.
But my
because-
mum and dad went down to,
Yep.
they have like a caravan, like a cabin where they go down and stay, and it's on the sea. Seriously, whenever you think of the perfect couple, my mum and dad in the last 5 years before she passed away was that. They
Yep.
went out, they got ice cream, they went
Mhm.
down, they stayed
Yeah.
in their cabin,
Yeah.
they stayed down there. Like, we had this caravan for a long time. They loved it. And they slept in different rooms because my dad snores like fuck.
So was there anything of like
Oh,
she
my-
was showing heart
My
problems or
my
anything, or no?
granddad passed away from a major heart attack
Yep.
whenever he was 38 or 37, and he was in the World War II. I'd never met him. He had passed away, I think, 3 years before I was born. So I was born in 90. So he passed away before that. But yeah, he was. I'm only a fucking
Bloody
younger.
young buck.
I'm a younger. But the end, that's the thing. Like, whenever I talk to people about it, it's like, well, I changed me. I had to because I didn't like what I was.
Yeah.
I was so, man, seriously, see if any of you guys had met me going back 5.5 years ago, you just wouldn't have liked it. I didn't like it. So why would anyone else?
Yeah.
Fucking hated it. Absolutely hated it. I went off the grog for a year.
Yep.
Got myself back where I needed to where I thought I needed to be. And then 4.5, 5 years later, we launched a business. It's
Wow.
about being your
Montana.
best time.
I'm on a channel.
Shout out to Montana.
Mm.
No, that's
But that's down to like people like you, man. I'm not even kidding you. Like, not so much you, but people looking like I look to inspirational stories,
yeah.
and then that's what actually makes
It
me
helps.
want to
It
be
does.
better.
Yep.
It does. I'm the same. You know, like exactly.
So you lost you lost your dad.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, lost him suicide.
Yep.
That's the
That's
worst.
heavy.
But that's the thing,
That's
though. Like,
heavy.
I want to talk about it. He was very old school.
Yep.
Like we said about earlier on, he's very old.
He never
school.
would have spoke about it.
You don't want to ask for help.
Yep.
Things like over the years, things that happened. I don't know about anyone else in the family, but I kind of expected it. As bad as that sounds.
My dad was looking like he
he-
was talking about it as well. When once my
wasn't
mum
gonna-
passed,
He wasn't gonna find that help. It was it wasn't as spoken about as it is now.
Yeah.
We're sitting here now talking about all this stuff. You know what I mean?
So what can you offer people that are going through grief?
Reach
Um,
out.
I think
yeah.
we need to hit people like you up, man. Like that's
what's
what
the
we need
message
do.
to people like that?
Don't go being a bird to me, mate. Don't go bringing all your problems.
No,
to me.
well, I think that's what it needs. We need people that can deal with
I'll
conflict and things like that.
I'll tell you
that-
straight up, right? I can nail all this on the head.
Mm.
When we've got issues in life, we've learnt from the past. We've told certain people gone and spoken about us.
Yeah.
They have, because they've got nothing to talk about. They'll talk
Yeah.
about your problems.
Yeah.
That the trust is left. We don't
Yeah.
have trust in
Yeah.
anyone. Right now, as we sit here, take it from me, the shit that I've been through and what I've had to do to get to this point, speak to someone.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't. This is another part where you could say ego, but it's in a retrospective of difference.
Yep.
You just don't want to talk to anyone.
my ego
Because you
was
think-
through the roof.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding you. Like my ego was through the roof.
Yeah, you got to change it.
Well,
You've got to.
I've changed it over the years, but at the start, my ego was through the roof. I wanted to talk to nobody,
Yeah.
and that's true as God. Like,
Mm.
even though it doesn't exist, but that's exactly right.
Yeah.
like
Rude.
it was. That's how. Well, yeah, it doesn't exist.
There's
That's the
ways
thing,
around it.
reach out.
I think the
Yeah.
thing is,
you
the
got to
rea-
talk to somebody there.
well, the reason why I do videos the way I do, I just feel and I know there's people out there that are suffering that will not talk to anyone because they can't trust anyone. They've been
Yep.
burnt
Right.
way too much.
Yep.
And my videos will cut that shell of that person where they're hard and they're like, fuck, I really need to hear that. Then they shift a little bit and go, well, hang on, there's someone out there that actually can
Yeah.
get this stuff.
Mm.
But I'm telling you now, with a lot of people I've dealt with and even dealing with myself, I don't think there's anything that will really come to my plate that I haven't heard of or had to deal with myself or someone else. It's out there.
Man, whenever I was listening to your videos, I had that lump in your throat.
Yeah.
And I'm getting it right now. Where whenever because you relate so much to that story, where it gives you that lump and you're like, it cuts so deep.
Yep.
And it takes everything away from it.
Yep.
Like you're irrelevant. You're
think the thing
literally
too
only a
is-
fucking name in it.
He's got the video. You can listen to it, and you're by yourself.
Yep.
You don't have that ego. You don't have anything to hide. You can
Yep.
listen to it raw.
You can
You can
qualify
listen to you
yourself there
spit
and
it.
then.
You can listen to it, and,
Even-
you can have whatever reaction you like, whether it's happy, sad, confused,
But even
whatever
with
it is. You can listen to
even
it.
if you want to go, like, I would love to sit down with you and actually pay you and sit down and talk to you.
Do it.
I
You
would-
can
no,
do
I,
it.
I seriously, I would.
And we'll do
You
it
can
here.
do it.
where
Because
the
you
can
wine's
do it.
Nice and yeah.
But even sitting behind not cameras and shit like that, like for you, that's like for you and for me, that's so good because you grow from it, you learn from
There
it,
you go.
and you learn from not like what not to do.
yeah.
So anybody listening that wants to reach out to Chris, you can do it.
You should for 100%.
100%.
Social media, email,
whether it's
reach out to him.
relationships, personal stuff,
Yep.
money things, whatever it is,
100%.
you just want someone's. ear
He's
to chew
heard it
off, like,
all.
seriously,
He's heard it all.
Yeah, you got to drop the
No judgment.
There's
the
no
embarrassment.
judgment.
You got to drop the embarrassment and just speak about it.
Yeah. Because some of the stuff, like even I'll speak in this just quickly, but people that have committed suicide, I sit back and go, what was really wrong in life.
Yeah.
To those people, it was everything. But to me, I look and go, "Fuck, you serious?"
Yeah.
Just
That's why
just
you
those
done
things.
it. Exactly.
So that's where now I've got a voice, because when I voice and people that are going through detriment, or they see my injury, like I don't see my injury be the worst thing in the world. There's
Yeah.
people out there that are worse off.
Yeah.
And I do see it every day.
Yeah.
You know, I spot that person with one leg and go, "Fuck, I've actually got it all right.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
two and I can walk."
Yeah.
But then that person sees someone else that's in the wheelchair and they can't do sweet FA.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, now, you know what? I don't want to use people in that terminology of sense, but that's just the visual things
Yeah.
that we look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just know, obviously the videos cut the cake for some people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they go, "Fuck, I do need to make a transition."
I'd love to
Not
make
the-
that extra step though, and most people should, because I was always on Beyond Blue. Most people that are depressed go on Beyond Blue
Blue.
because they
It's a
can't.
point of call.
yeah.
It's anonymous, so you can be whoever you want to be.
It's what value you get out of it, though. Even when I drove a car to Perth, my burnout ute, like that was just insane what I did. It was a milestone for me. This was last year, around May, maybe. I can't remember that orange ute I got. The burnout one, the VS ute. Yeah. So I took that and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put money, put a thing online through Facebook. I want to get money for Suicide Awareness Australia. And I raised capital of like $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
People paid it forward. That money got taken. I don't know where the fuck it went.
Yeah,
This is
Finished.
a problem with a lot of these things.
Yeah.
I don't know where that money's going to.
Yeah.
Whereas with what I do, I know there's value that comes back to that
it's
individual.
going back into something
Exactly.
to help other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's like
And I would highly recommend anyone at all that's suffering from, whether it's depression, whether it's, you might even not even know you're going through fucking depression
Just
right now.
talk to somebody.
Have a yarn
Yeah.
and hit Chris up.
All of us. If you don't want to
Truthfully.
hit Chris up, hit
Hey.
me, James,
you can hit
Ryan.
you can hit me up.
Seriously.
No, seriously though.
Like,
It
it's
is the best thing I ever did.
Is talking to someone
Absolutely.
about it.
being open, talking
Yep.
about it.
100%.
Yeah.
So, look, I feel like it's been a really good episode. I
Yeah.
feel
Any more-
like
where's the questions? I need more questions.
no, come on, man.
Any more? Give us another
Any
two.
more?
Give us
a
another
couple of
two.
questions, guys.
All right,
I've
He-
got no.
he-
I've
I'm
got
going
no
to go.
inboxes.
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
He's busting for
I'm
a
going to
piss.
go to
That's
the
why-
bathroom.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
been
busting.
holding it for ages.
You pissed off the lungo, you fucking.
Come on. If anybody wants to ask a question, ask it now, and when I get back,
They
Even
will
if you
read
want to
them.
inbox it,
Yep.
hit
Now-
us at Trojan Hour. And if you want it to be
And also
anonymous,
go to
Yeah.
Chris's handle. What's Chris's handle again? Let's bang it up on the
power
screen.
up. All right, we're going to bang
Power
it
up.
right now.
Bang it up. We'll smash that up. Get on to it.
Do it.
And he'll do you over.
There it
he,
is.
He won't
Power
do
up
you.
dot
Oh,
coaching. Power up dot
Calvinator.
coaching.
The Kelvinator will smash you
Bent
over.
over.
Fleet.
Smash you.
The
Whether
free-
it's
Into a
Even
new life.
fucking-
Even something good to put through is just video, ideas. There's something that's on your mind, and you say,
Yeah.
you know what? Why can't you do a video around this?
Yeah.
I'll do a video on it. It's easy.
Yeah, hit Chris up. It's anonymous. It's not like he's going to
Easy.
name you,
No,
make
no,
it, whatever. If you want a bit of info, want a bit of in-depth
Easy.
about something,
Easy.
hit him up.
We'll do it. That's a good way to go about it. Then it can get orchestrated across a capacity of people, and then how many other people are thinking the same thing.
Exactly.
Like I said, we all go through.
Everyone thinks
similarities.
that it's all about them, and they're
Yeah.
only thinking this one
Yeah,
thought,
no.
man.
Oh,
And, like,
we got
it-
Brad back.
It's hold on a second.
all right,
I wasn't finished. See the way I'm
Let it
still talking, man? That means I'm not finished.
Shut up, Orange.
Okay. Fuck up, Ram, would you?
Mark.
Is that Brad Clark?
Yeah, Brady's got
What's
one.
he got? Go on.
He just said, give me your mindfulness practices.
Mindfulness practices.
Be,
Okay.
be a better you.
So, a good way to condition yourself is waking up in the morning first thing. Okay, waking up, pen and paper, and writing down I am affirmations. I am thankful for the roof I've got over my head. I'm thankful for the money I bring in from the job that I've got. I'm thankful for my family. Write I am affirmations because it gives you substance of yourself.
Of how
Right.
little you are.
That's full on. I am tiny.
So little. So little, man.
But
Like, how,
that's
we're
programming.
literally what we're made up of what? Nothing. We're made up of what? Seriously.
Atoms.
So we've
Atoms.
got
That's what we're
Atoms.
made up of.
We are
It's all
literally.
energy.
Or
This
whole,
is our meat. This is our meat sack.
You need to fire.
This is our meat sack of
Your-
atoms.
Your brain is just something that runs
So
a
you-
mechanical
and
That's
then
right.
tomorrow
Being, that's
it's
our
a completely different problem.
So
So,
we've got-
is it that? Oh, hold on a second, Jimmy.
Oh,
Jesus
go
Christ! I
on,
just had to cut
come
him
on.
off right now.
Come on.
Right.
And then
just
you
talking
walk back in
bollocks.
straight off a
Talking
piss, and you
bollocks.
want to talk over the top.
I'm trying to wrap it up.
Come
Right,
on.
go.
I've got to finish
Go.
this question.
No, we
for,
just got
for
Brad
Brad.
Axe
Keep
question.
going.
Let him. No, you finish.
All right, thanks.
Now you're the guest. You get to go.
That's what I'd be putting forward is I am affirmations. When you tell yourself what you are, that's what you are. If you tell yourself that you're clumsy, you're shit, you're no good, you're just bringing that that scale of energy back into
You
you.
are
So,
what you eat.
Yeah.
Brad, put I am affirmations. You can write a whole page one day if you want, but it's everything of affirmation of who you are and the substance you want to become. Seriously, do that every day. That will reprogram the way you think and feel about yourself, and that will kick garbage out. It seriously will. I hope that answered that question pretty good.
Ah,
Yeah,
cheers, Brad.
did.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Don't
Another.
forget-
Let's give us another 2 questions.
Oh, we're waiting.
Go
for
on.
it.
Have
I
we
could
got
sit,
any
I
more
could sit
questions?
here for
You
the
put-
next 6 hours.
you
talking
carry-
about this
you-
stuff.
No,
really-
I feel
Wrap it
like
up.
the more questions
Let's
that are
get later.
answered,
Look,
It's
the
getting
better
late.
it is.
so you answered the last. I just went to the toilet.
It's been wrapped up.
That was Brad's.
Yeah,
Give me your mindfulness practice.
he's
Yeah,
already
Yep.
done it.
Okay.
That's a good way to start.
I'm saying, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
if you want to support Chris on his ride,
Yes.
seriously do it.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
for a good cause. We're going to hit the live updates. We'll hit him up.
Constantly, I reckon.
I'm keen. We're all pretty keen. We'll hit you up
Every
on live
night once he
updates.
lands somewhere,
Yeah. Each night when he lands somewhere,
yeah,
we, can,
we're going to get him back on.
we can see how you're
Yeah,
going.
definitely.
'Just
100%.
just
Yeah.
before you leave,
Before you leave. come
and
back
then
on.
Yeah.
once you're leaving, we'll catch up
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'll
Yeah.
probably
we'll-
come for a ride for a day. My ass will be sore.
You won't be doing sweet FM.
No, I'll come for a ride. Oh, not if you don't serve
Can,
me.
can
trying
you
to
not
steal
let
my
him
phone.
on your?
Serves me
Can,
right.
can he
He
sit
won't be
on
able
the
to keep
back?
up on his little Virago anyway.
Can he sit
No,
on?
whatever,
Can he
mate.
sit on your back with you?
koala back me.
Little Virago. How
Virago.
demoralizing is that?
Sorry, man.
That's what he
I'll
rides.
give it a fucking run.
He's
You
like,
little
yeah,
Virago.
that's exactly what he rides.
Little
That's so
sporty.
fortunate.
But listen, I really appreciate the time, guys, and I appreciate people getting on board. This is something that I'll forever be doing to the day I die, is paying it forward. And I just hope someone gets something out of this to shift the way they feel about something, to be better about themselves. And that's a wrap, I suppose.
Seriously,
Absolutely.
man. Seriously,
Thanks for coming on.
see tonight.
Appreciate it.
See listening to you. It's almost more motivational than watching your videos.
You got-
I'm not even
you-
kidding
you
you.
got-
man.
No, it's good.
Do you know, I'm going to tell you something before you wrap up. When I do a video, I'm talking to a camera.
Exactly.
There is
You've
no
got nothing.
substance.
There's
of
no
any
context
engagement. There's
at all.
nothing. So if these values come up now
Yeah.
of how you feel,
Seriously, mate.
we can work on that substance. And that's
I've
a
no
really good
doubt.
thing about it.
100%.
So
And look, I hope everybody's enjoyed tonight.
I hope so.
I've enjoyed it.
Fuck me too,
We've
man.
had solid viewers all night.
Tonight was
So,
seriously.
Good.
You've been our biggest.
Biggest hit.
You've been our biggest hit.
You've been
so
our
we've got
best
we've got a
guest yet
big
but-
bar to follow after that.
from this.
Appreciate it for coming, man.
But no, thank
Thank
you
you.
very
Appreciate
much
it.
for
Appreciate
coming.
Love you to bits, man.
Love
you
we're,
all.
we're going to get you back. But anybody that has any mental, forget anybody that wants to ask or just wants
struggling.
to talk to
Anyone that's struggling
Yeah,
right now,
if you want to talk
especially
to
like
anybody, just reach out.
at
Reach
the
out.
minute with coronavirus, like everyone's struggling.
Yeah.
The fucking
made it worse.
Confinement. So.
oh, completely, man. If
Yeah.
you want to hit anyone up, hit up Chris.
Yep,
Chris-
hit up Chris.
Oh, Chris,
So
Doc
we're gonna,
Dawson.
we're gonna pull the pin. It's been awesome. Thanks everybody for
We're
listening.
all going on to our personal counselling
We're
sessions.
carrying on.
Love you,
Get
man.
hammered with drama.
No, thanks for coming, Chris.
No,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you
Thanks,
very much,
mate.
Chris.
Love
we
you to bits.
appreciate it.
Good on you.
See you later, guys.
We're gonna hit our music
See ya,
now.
mate.
Catch you
Yep.
later.
Thank you.
Cheers, everybody.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit up our YouTube. Hit up Chris's YouTube.
Yep.
The numbers make a big difference. It helps support us.
Yeah, man.
We'll put all the
Absolutely.
links beneath just
Yep.
in case, yeah.
Yep. We'll put all the links out. Hit up our YouTube. We're gonna get more guests. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Get
It's
balls
just
deep in it.
beginning. This is just the
Balls deep.
beginning.
This is us
yep.
just putting our
100%.
slong in.
All right, guys.
Now we're going
Good
to
on
get
ya.
balls deep.
Cheers, guys.
See
Thank
you
you very
later.
much.
Love
Thanks,
yous.
Chris.
We're out.
It's like
Fucking awesome, man. Nailed it.
I could just keep going.
Nailed
I
it,
could
buddy.
just keep
I'm
going.
sure you could.
About the coronavirus, this is shaking.
Forget the coronavirus.